Tic-tac.
YouTube.
Tic-tac.
What is going on?
Tic-tac.
This transfer window is filled with ups, downs, and turnarounds, and we're going to talk about it all today. Big show for you guys. A lot to get through. So before I go ahead and get this started, I'm going to introduce the panel. Big up to Ahmed, big up to Oliver, big up to Chris, and myself, Marshalldbdx, who will be hosting the show today. More people possibly to come later on in the show. But before we continue the show, as always, guys, you know what to do. On our way to 3K, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on the latest news, or not the latest, on whenever we stream and whenever we go over the news. Be sure to also smash the like button because it does help out the algorithm. If we can get 100 likes on this video, I'd be greatly appreciative of that, of the stream, I should say. So smash those like buttons if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much, people. Check out the links below for all other content. Discord, Twitter, all that fun stuff is down there. You said the Bridges channel is down there as well. And also be sure to check out the comments below. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Look into the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and you get some awesome emojis to use, which I'm sure people who are members are going to go ahead and use those as well. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's start this show and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of everything very soon. Let's ramp up into it. So let's start by talking about this away kit. Ladies and gents, it's official. This is the away kit that has been revealed by Footy Headlines. Thoughts? I like it. I really hope that this white is like a silver and it's just as shiny as like that gold from the home kit. I think that'd be really cool. It could just be white because of like maybe the flash or the editing, but I really hope it's like a really fluorescent like silver. That'd be really cool if that was the case. I don't know what you guys think about this away kit.
I spoken about the away kit before already.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. No. Yes, you have.
No.
I spoke about the home kit.
I have not seen
this
in my life.
We have.
It's officially been announced now.
It's not. It was what's his name? I think it was Kevin Durant that we saw.
He was in it, but that was like underneath like a hoodie, so you can actually see the proper thing, but you could see a little bit like at the bottom of it.
Wasn't he wearing the home kit?
You know what this?
No, he's wearing the away.
Really? Yeah. I don't remember.
You know the kit what it looks like actually. You know, like Tron. I don't know. It has that like vibe to it for me. Like
I see what you mean. Yeah.
The squares, like it actually kind of like Tron for me, but I don't know. Like it looks nice. It is a bit clean for like a lot of lines and shit. So yeah.
What the hell, God of Frogs? Nothing satisfies this guy, man. I like this kit a lot. I think this might be my favorite one since the Nike takeover.
I like a home kit more.
Actually, no. I kind of like the third alternate kit. It's between this one and the alternate kit from 2 seasons ago.
Nah, like our home one's the best. I like where the arms end as well, like the blue and black as well. I like that part too. But no, yeah, the home one's better for me. It's like gold and blue and white and gold again. But yeah, this kit's alright. I like it. I can see myself wearing it. I didn't buy a kit last season.
The third is beautiful. Is there a third kit announced for this season so far? No, right? No one's seen a third kit yet.
I have not seen a third kit, but I haven't really been on much on Twitter this weekend actually.
They should honestly just keep last season's third kit because that thing was beautiful. Marshall, didn't you buy one of those?
Yeah, I have one. That was my Thiago Silva one. That's my first Chelsea kit. I know the kit was leaked, but this is official now. This is officially the kit. That's why I'm bringing it up, ladies and gents, because
Footy Headlines always get it right.
Official news right now. It's green. I don't know about that. I haven't seen. I
can't see Chelsea in the green kit. What?
That'd be bizarre. They got newly subbed. We're well. Nice H Talk Chelsea. Appreciate it, brother. I'll look into it. I have not seen a third kit, or let alone it being green.
Chelsea's third kit.
It's our third kit. Is our third kit is green? We'll likely have to use the green kit. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't recall this. Interesting. Oh, I watched the third kit be the grossest one. But unless you guys have any other
I have seen
and opinions on this kit, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Do you want me to send it? Is this like?
Yeah, send it in private chat. I'll look at it right now.
I put it in what the Twitter like private chat. Right?
No, in this private chat on StreamYard.
I went on Google and looked, and yeah, 23, 24. It's not like a link, or is it?
Okay, it doesn't matter.
I
But
literally went on my phone.
I am going to move on to the next topic, and we're gonna talk about some Chelsea investment happening. I believe this is related to the stadium upgrade, so let's discuss. So, Ayers Management is in talks to invest in Chelsea FC, the English Premier League football club seeking a capital injection. The US-based investment firm is discussing the size and structure of a possible financing deal with the West London club. This is coming from Bloomberg. Then we have another bit of news here. Chelsea held talks with Ayers Management and several other investors about raising funds as they plot a stadium upgrade. They are deciding whether to redevelop Stamford Bridge or build a new stadium at Earl's Court. And the last bit of news I have here, Chelsea could raise as much as £400 million through funding as they approach investors over bringing in extra capital. So it looks like we're looking for the investors so that we can invest into that new stadium. We do need more money in regards to that. I think it's safe to say, oh, this is like a mint green. I did not see that.
It's
wow.
90%
Okay.
accuracy, apparently. I don't know what that really like,
Interesting.
it's maybe
That doesn't
not
look too bad.
100% legit yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll be here when we officially
When it's
announce
official,
it. Yeah. But I think this is also an opportunity for Saudi investing to happen as well, since we have a decent relationship with the Saudi group, PF. The
No. It's not.
PF.
It's not Saudi. It's not Saudi. It's an American guy that it's an American brand that's about to invest into us. It's been.
Oh no, I'm not referring to this. I'm referring to our recent relationship with the Saudi PF. What the hell is
Saudi
the group
can't
called?
invest in us.
PIF.
PIF, yeah, but of the
Thank
recent
you.
stuff that's been happening with the PIF can't fund us because they already own what's it called, Newcastle, so they're not allowed to invest in us actually. So that's why there's this American investor that was trying to do an investment in Manchester United previously, and they're going to be investing in us, which I'll bring up their names in just a second. Just bear with me on that one as well.
Yeah, Ayers, not Ayers, is it?
It begins with A. It's like it begins with A. I know.
Aries, the PIF. Thank you. Guys.
Yeah, it's something like that. But let me double check.
I just had it before. Yeah.
This what happened.
I do think two of our kits are very similar color wise. It's a bit, maybe, kind of.
Yeah,
I
similar,
don't
but
mind the
not
mint.
same.
The mint green looks nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one if it's like that.
I wouldn't mind that either.
I just want to say though, on the one of your tweets, it said that we were still deciding on whether we develop on Stamford
On the
Bridge's site
ground
or go to
Earl's
Earl's Court. Yeah, the Earl's Court thing got ruled out months ago, so we are redeveloping on Stamford Bridge's site, which that's
And
obviously
that's all
harder.
dependent on the pitch owners, right?
It is, but also I think the people that are in charge with the Earl's Court development, I think they came out and said that there's no link to Chelsea there, so they kind of deaded that rumor or that report themselves.
This is what I was thinking, Ahmed. I was thinking maybe a different Saudi group or a Saudi contingent can invest in us. It doesn't have to be PIF necessarily.
The problem with anything Saudi related is that it's going to be heavily scrutinized by Chelsea, right?
Sure.
So
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I think for
Only
us,
Chelsea.
So I think the better option for us, and I think even from a club perspective, you already have Clear Lake Capital. They probably have a lot of American investors who are got the top bills anyway to give investments anyway into them. And it is Aries management, by the way. It was Aries.
Aries management. Aries
something like that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's just a lot more easy to get money from like those hedge funds anyway. And plus, it's clean money. Whether you want to say it's not blood money, whatever you want to call it, it's clean money. To as clean as it can be. So there's no blowback to you as well. And they're only taking minimum stakes, by the way. They don't even take it they're not taking 20%, 10%. It's probably what you're getting 2%, 3% stakes inside the club essentially. For 200
it's not even big stakes. But I mean, they're not big stakes to us, but regardless, that small percentage is probably a good lump sum of money. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I mean, there's progress being made on this. I think we're probably, I hope what happens is that we actually can build on Stamford Bridge and we don't run into the hurdle of trying to bypass these pitch owners and what they want to do. So
just quickly, Paolo 27, can you do what is it? Can you did it? You know, I say that's for him. But but secondly, it's probably gonna have to be on the pitch, whether we like it or not, man. It's impossible. The reality of the situation is, yeah, the pitch has got the name. The pitch owners, like myself, we own the name of the club. So if you're gonna move to Earls Court, bro, it's gonna be 90 impossible. And like Abramovich tried to do this trick of trying to buy more than 50% of the stake of the pitch in order for them to move to Battersea Power Station. If you remember previously, that was the previous option Chelsea had at the time. So that's what I'm saying to you. So it's really hard. At the end of the day, they've already decided to do it like this. We already know that they've already got plans to maybe play at Fulham or at Wembley. So there's already plans being drawn up to consider those factors anyway. So it is what it is pretty much.
Is there a way we can like chop up the pitch and give it back to the percentage of the owners?
Yeah, just
and
give us
make a
no.
new pitch.
Honestly,
Like, how
It's
do
rather
we
land, I
get
think.
past this?
the problem
Yeah.
is like the problem is because of the fact of I'm not sure obviously about what the deal is, but because the name is already tied to the pitch and all the trophies related to it, it's almost like too late essentially. And like I don't know when this happened actually, because I would have to probably look in Chelsea history to find out when they decided to start doing the pitch stuff. Because otherwise, you know, it's a bit
Well, wasn't it
confusing.
when Ken Bates bought us for £1 or something like that?
It must have been. It's either that period or it must have been somewhere around about then. Because, like, the pitch is because the fact that they tied the name of the club to the pitch is something I've not seen before in it. So, I would have to probably look at Chelsea history again to find out about that.
Yeah.
Only Chelsea.
Very, only Chelsea. It's a very interesting debacle.
But
and I
hey
hope
man,
it
you
does
know
get
you know what the
resolved.
irony is, yeah? We're getting owned by we're owned by a Russian billionaire, we're owned by a lot of stuff, but somehow the fans still own the name of the club. You know what I'm saying? Unironically. You know what I'm saying? So, it's ironic. You know?
We need to sanction the pitch owners, you know, like then we can actually move it along.
Sanction the pitch owners.
Each and single one of them, every one of them.
Let's not sanction me, please. Let's not sanction.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
he just
pitch-
admitted to being one.
We need to sanction Ahmed too then.
I'm actually planning to get
my
my mother.
days.
I'm actually planning to get my mother a pitch, I think, as a present, so that you can own part of the pitch too. So
This is what I mean. Cut the pitch.
Why are we still
Cut the
standing?
pitch.
Or was it just other people standing?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, good. Oh, thanks, Chelsea old boys. Hey, we brought the pitch to save our ground from investors. Us fans put our hard. Oh, thank you, bro. Because I actually didn't remember when it was. We actually tied the name of the pitch to the club. Hey, man, thanks, bro, for letting us know.
Oh yeah, true.
Hey,
I remember.
That was it. Because
yeah.
I remembered. I think because I remember. I couldn't remember what date it was exactly. So yeah, big up to Chelsea old boys, man. It's much appreciated.
Big up, big up. But moving
Bro,
on
do you
to
know
the
how
next
much-
topic, by the way.
Hey,
Just
if
quickly,
the government, if the
just-
government want to take it away, they can do whatever they
Go
want.
for it. Go for it.
Just quickly, CSG 2023. The problem is, oh, thanks for the date as well, Chelsea old boys. 8485. But CFC 2023, yeah. The problem that you've got here is that Roman, I tried to do this already, and it was extremely unsuccessful. Like the fans stuck their feet in because of the fact that, you know, the pitch is like belongs to the fans, and it was a big thing for us at the end of the day. That's why, you know, that's why it can't happen. And I'm pretty sure, if I can't remember, there's a famous player as well that's actually got his ashes on the stadium on the pitch too.
Osgood.
So that's why
Osgood has his ashes under the penalty spot.
Exactly. So it's almost like it's basically not impossible for this to happen because there's too much sentimentality when it comes to this. So even trying to move to Earls Court is going to be difficult as well. So listen, man, it is what it is. It's like you can't leave the OG ends. I'm not saying so.
Fuck your feelings.
It's time to go!
We need a new stadium. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. But I hope this does get resolved in some shape or form. Let's go ahead and move on to the following topic, which is Chelsea have just acquired a new scout. How exciting. We got more scouting. Look at that. So here we go. Stuart Thompson has left Manchester City and joined Chelsea in a first-team scouting role. Coming for Stuart Thompson. Hey, I'm all for it. Let's see what this guy can cook. We've already been cooking. Let's cook some more. I've been enjoying a lot of the talent that we've been bringing in. Everything is looking good so far. So reinforcing that department with even more scouting, especially experienced scouting from Man City. We see the players that they get. So having someone who has that kind of an eye for a talent in a very respectable Man City scouting team to come to this one, I think I'm excited for that one first team scouting role, I should say, as well. So this would be players for the first team, not for developing like the other ones, like Dijon, Whisper, and the other players that we've acquired as well, Kendrick Paez, and so on and so forth. What are the thoughts on reinforcing this scouting role here?
No thoughts really. As long as he just does his job scouting, that's all that matters. First
team scouting role.
Well, mate, again, as long as he does his job well, doesn't matter.
Watch him be, I don't know, City.
I'm not sure how
scout, and we just signed him up. Like he's the one who signed Calvin Phillips and stuff like that.
Yeah, like is he actually tied to any? Like whoever said that, can you just name a player that like this guy is specifically tied to or that he pushed for?
Yeah, I want some names. Who this guy's?
I mean, City don't miss that often, so you know he must be doing something right. And at the end of the day, we've kind of done this before because we already have Joe Shields, and we got him from Southampton, but he was a City youth scout, so. We're kind of looking at that system a bit like we were with Vivel and the Red Bull model. We want to create that City football group kind of model. So these are the kind of steps you need to be taking. Get people with that experience of that kind of model and that inner working.
I just want to say quickly, thanks to everyone that subbed. Much appreciated, obviously. The problem with the first team with Man City, and I've said this before, it's a bit difficult because, like, I've been saying this for a while, but a lot of people are leaving City for some reason when it comes to the scouting department and a lot of their stuff. So they're clearly starting to lose talent. So I think from a Chelsea perspective, you want to be trying to gain as much talent from them as possible because, again, they've got the City model. These scouts don't necessarily need to be first team in terms for just for us. They may be first team for Strasbourg. They may be first team for the Portuguese club we may be buying. So that's probably why we're trying to bring in as many scouts as possible. So
that's a really good point because I forgot who said this. It may have been Drug Bubba mentioning that we also, like, as much as we're focused on Chelsea and all that, we also need to prepare and ready up Strasbourg and any other team that we have. Because Strasbourg, we're trying to compete in Champions League. If we can get Strasbourg a Champions League team like that helps us out scouting-wise.
It might be a bit difficult.
It might not be. Look at the talent that we're bringing into them.
No, not as in like them getting to UCL. The issue is though not them getting to UCL, but like the laws and everything, because they still haven't relaxed the laws yet. Well, two clubs from the same ownership can have two teams in the UCL essentially. It's not allowed.
Strasbourg and not Strasbourg. I'm sorry, Salzburg and Leipzig do that. Why wouldn't Chelsea be able to?
They're not owned by
Red
the
Bull
same
clubs. Yeah,
it's Red Bull are both part owners though. They don't fully own the club. You get what I mean? So it's a bit different. They reduce their stake in one of the companies. Wait, you get what I mean?
We own.
They're not fully owners,
right?
Because we own like more than 80% of Strasbourg.
It's a majority stake.
Yeah, but it's like quite a big majority. We own like 90%, if I'm not mistaken, of Strasbourg right now. So that's the difference. Like we're not even like a minority owner. If you're like a minority owner in a club, it usually doesn't matter. But if you're like a majority owner and then you've got another majority owned club in the same UCL thing, then it doesn't make sense. But even then, for me, I just think if they get Europa League football, that's what you're probably aiming for Strasbourg anyway. Get them to Europa League football. That's
probably
why you're
aiming for Champions League, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then let the UEFA,
because the problem is the problem that you have here. If you bring them to Champions League level, they're going to be competing with your own club too. They're going to be competing with the main feeder club. So
it's fine.
That's the problem. No, that's a problem. You want?
Oh, it's fine. You want them to compete.
You want
it's a conflict of interest.
And also, you want each club to be a stepping stone for in terms of like progress. Let's say you go to Portuguese, that's like the training wheel level. Maybe you get some Conference League there. Then you send the players to Strasbourg. They get some Europa League football, a lot more Premier League experience there. They get better if they excel there, and then they become a top talent. You then bring them to your main club, Chelsea Football Club, where they can plug a hole in a necessary place where they can play up to a top to world class level. That's the way you usually you want to use this model to work.
But
you don't want them to be in UCL football.
Yeah. I get that, but at the same time, like you could still have both things and be right. Both things can be right. You can have a team that's competing in UCL football, but you can still have the main team be the most competitive one. So, like an example of Leipzig and wow, why am I drawing a blank right now? Salzburg, sorry. It's Leipzig and Salzburg. Salzburg, you expect them to get knocked out in group stages. Maybe they make a round of 16, but Leipzig is always the one that's going to go further.
But do you know? But the thing, to counter your point, Marshall, Salzburg's in the league, in the Austrian league. They have barely any competition. If you're trying to be honest, I think the only other team they've got in Austria that they're trying to face is I've just literally lost my mind who the other team is, but I'll come back to you on that one. There's only like another team that they have to face. So that's the difference. Here they're in the French league. They're still PSG. There's still Monaco. There's still Lyon. There's still Rennes, Stade de Rennes as well. They've also got RC Lens too. So the reality is it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to get UCL football.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. They should be competing.
You want to be at the end of the day aiming for Europa League football for them.
Because the other thing too is you want talent to come to that feeder club as well. So you want them to be attracted to European football. You want them to be attracted to a club that's going to be competing at the top. I think that is a factor. So as much as we want to talk about Chelsea this and make Chelsea the best it can be and use Rennes for our leftovers, we also want to bring in talent to not Rennes, Strasbourg. So many names right now. Sorry.
But again, what I would say to you, Marshall, to disagree with you again, it's actually a really good debate, bro. Because I think we're making good points here. I would just say to you though, you want Strasbourg to be cultivating the talent that you're bringing there. It's not necessarily, of course, you want them to be stable and everything, but at the end of the day, you just want them to be cultivating the talent you have there. If you bring them to Europa League as well, don't forget the last 16 onwards, you're getting guys that have dropped from the UCL. Usually, those are some big teams that are in there, and some medium UCL teams at the end of the day. So you're bringing in good competition there. That's why for me, I can see the club trying to do Conference, Europa, then Champions League is where Chelsea's at, where you're trying to win the titles and that stuff. That for me just makes the most logical sense. Obviously, it's going to be other clubs we buy, which may be in a South American league and Arsenal league, to get those youths straight away as well.
We'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, I think
big up Mitchy boys. Man said maybe striker is top of the tree.
Maybe.
Hey, final ball.
But I would say, like, at the end of the day, I think Europe in general for Strasbourg is a step in the right direction. And whether they go on to do UCL or stay in Europa League and stuff, we'll see what happens with the talent that goes that way. So I do think it is important to reinforce them just as much as, well, not as much, but reinforce them like we would be reinforcing Chelsea, reinforcing them like they would be a first team. But Chelsea obviously is going to be the main one. That's where you're going to get.
I don't know if you guys remember actually, but when Blueco bought the stake into Strasbourg and they kind of like laid out a bit of a plan or like some sort of targets they want to reach. I believe they said like they want to get the club to around like between 8th and 4th. So Europe is clearly the target, within that range of places. That's clearly what they want. It doesn't necessarily specify that it has to be Champions League. That could be Conference or Europa.
Hey, when Dab is right, by the way, when he's cooking, he's cooking. Guys, smash the like button. It does help us out. Over 90 of you watching. There's only 35 likes. Let's get 50 likes. Let's go, people. Wipe your feet on the floor. Ahmed, continue what you were saying, my friend.
I was actually going to add to another point. I literally forgot this. There's only 2 UCL spots as well for France. They only get 2 UCL spots. So They only get first and second. Yeah, it's only first and second get into UCL. Unless the other team wins like a Europa League spot, essentially. So that's something I totally forgot about.
Is that true?
I think
yeah,
so,
it is.
Is that a new rule?
No, it's been like for a while. I just literally forgot. That's why. First and second always get Europa League. So Champions League too.
There's not many great teams in the French league there, Marshall. There's PSG
and also like
there's a good amount. No, hold on.
No.
There's a decent amount of good teams in France.
Oh, okay, then why do they only have 2?
It's because of the.
Did I see Lyon and Marseille compete the same in 1 year? I don't remember.
It's the league rating. It's the league rating as well. That's the other thing. So whenever that happens, Marshall, it's usually because what happens is, let's say if a Europa League winner is already qualified for Champions League, it usually would go to them to be to the third place team in France. That's why it usually happens. But France only gets 2 teams because of like how they look at the league, like how they rate the league essentially in UEFA. So they only get 2. I'm pretty sure La Liga gets 4. Premier League gets 4. Germany, I think, gets 3, if I'm not mistaken, or 4. It's either 3 or 4.
I think it's definitely 3 because I see Dortmund and Leipzig sometimes. Like, there's definitely 3. And obviously,
I think it's 4 because I think Mönchengladbach competed last year too.
Oh yeah, they did. I think they did too.
And that's the thing with like the French league. None of them win even Champions League. Like PSG are the closest to do it, of course, but like you ain't gonna see any other team in the French league win it. No.
I think the last club to do it was Marseille, and that was years ago.
Marseille is the only team. Marseille is the only team in France to win the UCL, by the way. So there's literally no other team that's won it. And like I think for them it was in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, and it's 4.
Yeah, it was years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that being said, all that, I think it's important that we do get scouting. We can't stretch our scouting team thin for 2 teams. I think reinforcing that department to make sure that we like. I think what's going to happen is we get this scout from Man City as a first team scout, and then whoever was currently doing scouting for the first team gets put to the first team for Strasbourg or something. So maybe a balancing act like that. And I think it's a good strategy because, like I said, like we were just discussing, I think it's good that we also not just send our talents to develop at Rennes. It's also, I keep saying Rennes, Strasbourg. It's a good thing to not only to just send our talent to Strasbourg, but also develop Strasbourg into a competitive team. So with all that being said, let's go on and talk about competition. And let's talk about goalkeeping competition. Sanchez, here we go. Yes, I know we're late about it, but we never discussed it. So let's discuss everything that happened this week in regards to Roberto Sanchez now being a Chelsea Blue. So here we have Chelsea HQ earlier in the week. Chelsea have made progress in the pursuit of Brighton goalkeeper Robert Sanchez after seriously exploring a bid for the Spaniard. Robert Sanchez is being viewed initially as competition for Kepa Arrizabalaga, but has the potential to improve further and could also replace his fellow Spaniard as Chelsea's first choice. Moving forward, Chelsea always considered Robert Sanchez as a cheap and smart option, even though they also consider Andre Onana. That's coming from Fabrizio Romano. Robert Sanchez has been identified as Mauricio Pochettino's preferred candidate to provide competition to first-choice shot stopper Kepa Arrizabalaga, Ms. Arkansas reports. Chelsea revised their plan to spend big on Andre Onana and Mike Maignan after failing to find a club to buy Kepa. That's coming from Jacob Steinberg. Let's go ahead and we'll come back to that part of the story. And then David Ornstein breaking the news here. Exclusive. Brighton Hove Albion have agreed a deal with Chelsea for goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Spain international expected to undergo medical imminently. CFC have been targeting 25-year-old as competition for Kepa following Mendy departure, coming from David Ornstein at The Athletic. Fabrizio Romano then following it up. Chelsea have agreed fee around £20 million fixed for Robert Sanchez. It includes add-ons up to £25 million package. Long-term deal verbally agreed with Sanchez, who always wanted to join. Caicedo talks continue in separate deal. Solina will now leave on loan. Here we go. I also got to say, whoever did the Photoshop for this, you did Sanchez dirty on this one. He did sit, like, his head looks so weird.
It looks like an art style, really.
Yeah, it looks so weird. But moving forward. Robert Sanchez has agreed 7-year contract with Chelsea. And then we have Leeds United. Tyler Adams is leaning towards moves to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea trigger is 20 million. We'll come back to Tyler Adams. But yeah, 7-year long contract. Robert Sanchez transfer from Brighton to Caicedo includes a sell-on clause as well. I don't know how true this is, but I'm sure we'll find out later on if there is a sell-on clause there. And then co-sporting director Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. We're very pleased to welcome Robert to Chelsea, and he adds further quality to our goalkeeping unit. Robert has repeatedly proved himself in the Premier League and been capped by his country. We are excited to watch him work with Mauricio and his coaching team during the season ahead. And one last tweet I wanted to add here, because I feel like people I feel like people think this is a parallel move. I think Sanchez is an upgrade. I think if you look at his season 2 seasons ago, he was arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the league. But I pulled up this tweet and I thought it was important to see some of the facts that they pulled out of the Athletic article regarding Robert Sanchez. I have no strong feelings for or against Sanchez, but this article provides a good summary of what made him good a couple years ago. Distribution, short and long, bravery on the ball, aerial command, positioning, physicality. You got to remember this guy is 6'6", I believe, or 6'5". We looked it up the other day. I don't remember. Like Saul, Sanchez is another reclamation project, probably a 10 to 20% chance of success here, not much more. I'd rather not engage in signings like this anymore, but the recruitment team have shown enough for me to trust them on this. Also, like the fact that Sanchez has statistically been among the top 3 goalkeepers in the PL in cross collection, shot stopping, 1v1s, and distribution at some point in the last 3 years. Sure, he is a reclamation project, but at least we know that there is something to work with. His distribution is the most important thing I'll be keeping an eye on. Stereotypes as are why Kepa has been seen as the ball-playing goalkeeper. He is not good with the ball and is active liability when building up. Sanchez, if he plays at all, will be considered an upgrade on that front. I think there's a few things that are very similar when it comes to Kepa and Sanchez, but there's other things that he is an upgrade on. I don't think there's any department of Sanchez that's a downgrade from Kepa, unless you guys disagree on that.
All right, mate. We had this argument before, remember?
Yeah, I had to bring this up for that.
In my opinion, I am not a big. I think Sanchez is a minimal upgrade. It's a minimal upgrade, in my opinion, to Kepa. Again, I think obviously his ball playing ability, of course, is good, but after he's got a bit of better, shot stopping. But that is pretty much it, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to preface this a bit, yeah. I understand the upper echelons, there's quite a few that are only there, and it's very hard to get them as we are currently. Mannion obviously doesn't want to come to us. We obviously had to back out of Onana because of Kepa's wages and the fact we were not able to move on. And there's a lot of like prospect goalkeepers, maybe, and we already got one in Gaga Solina, who we're trying to, obviously build up to be the future goalkeeper for us.
Sure.
But there's a lot in between. And when I say a lot in between, there's a lot of these guys that are good at one thing and not so great at another thing. And for me, when it comes down to it, do I necessarily need ball playing ability for my goalkeeper when I'm trying to aim for maybe fourth or fifth in the season? I don't necessarily think so. I think for me, I would have much preferred if we had gone after someone that was similar to Mendy, was a very, very good shot stopper, maybe not so great with ball to feet, right? But at least you knew he was going to come through his crosses. He's going to be able to be a very good shot stopper and a very good saver. That's why for me, this, I wouldn't have minded bringing Emiliano Martinez. Obviously, it was very hard to bring him in. I understand that. Someone else I already offered was Lafont, who was in Ligue 1. He was for Nantes, 24, 25 years old. If you were to give him a 7-year contract, it would even make more sense in my opinion. At the end of the day, very good shot stopper.
Isn't Sanchez about the same age though?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I think he is. I think from what I read, he is about 25, 26.
Yeah, but Lafont is 24, so he's 2 years younger. So
it's not a lot.
Still, it's young enough. You can at least train him, actually. If you could even make the argument, they could even train him with the ball playing ability as well.
Real quick, I do want to address this. Go ahead, Ahmed. Land your point, and I want to address this comment.
Yeah, so for me, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's just, I think for me, I would have preferred someone which is much more known for shot stopping. That's just what it comes down to me. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a cheaper option. Would have probably gotten for a similar price point anyway, 25 to 20 million. So that's all it is for me personally. But we move.
So, Gene, I'll say this: we're heavily gambling here, betting on getting back to his form from 2-3 years ago. I don't think so. I think people don't know this for whatever reason. He wasn't demoted last year because of his form. He had a disagreement with De Zerbi. Same thing with Trossard. He had a disagreement with De Zerbi, and he didn't play anymore. But he was well on his way to accomplish the same exact things he was going to accomplish the season before that and the season before that. So with actually, I have disagreements with Ahmed about the ball distribution goalkeeper. Oliver and Chris, I don't know what you guys, our thoughts on that. I'll let you guys speak on that.
I agree with Ahmed 100%. Like, he isn't like an upgrade to Kepa, and when it comes to like what I want for a new keeper to come in Chelsea, I'd rather keep keep it to the old school, more the basic. Well, it's not really basic, but keep it more to the basics, like being good in goal, saving good shots, saving us. Yeah, like coming out for a cross or a corner, claiming it well. Like the kicking is the more newer part of the game for goalkeepers. I like it. Like, it's good. It's very helpful. But like Sanchez, like in goal for saving shots and all that type of stuff, I don't think it's gonna be much of a difference in it. But the only difference is I can say in goal for long shots, maybe like the further out goals, because he's 6'5". He's a lot bigger than Kepa. Like he is a bigger keeper, so he's probably gonna be slightly better, and that's all right. Like, he's just another keeper. I think he's gonna be here for a good while as well, where Kepa goes and we get another keeper. But yeah, like, it is what it is. Like 20 million's nothing as well. Like in today's market either.
Sure. By the way, over 120 of you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to smash the like button, as it does help out this channel tremendously in its growth. I really would appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. It's absolutely free to do it. And if you guys are enjoying the content, please show that by smashing the like button. And be sure to check out our memberships. We have some cool emojis for you guys to use. And by the way, whoever is a member, go ahead and smash your favorite emoji. Show people in the chat what they're missing out on if they are not a member. But going on, Oliver, do you want to add on to anything that Chris or Ahmed said before I go ahead and put my disagreements in there?
I pretty much do agree. I mean, I do prefer the more classic style of goalkeeper. Like, here's the thing: like, the problem we have with Mendy is, like, Chris talked about it there. Kind of basics. Mendy didn't. It came to a point with Mendy, like, he was good at a time on the ball. Like, he wasn't like Edison. Never claimed that, but he wasn't putting us under pressure. But it came to a point near the end where he was, and that's all I need from my goalkeeper. Anything more than the basics, and just not playing your defenders and your teammates into pressure. Anything beyond that is a bonus for me. I don't necessarily need a Cesc Fabregas passing ability kind of goalkeeper in between the sticks. So I'd much rather prioritise shot stopping. But I think it's like what one of the tweets said just there. The scouting team and the recruitment have shown that they've been good at identifying targets. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. It's not for too much money either, and I think I think he's probably going to be a backup. We got 2 more years of Kepa being here. We clearly can't move him on, so we're just waiting till his contract expires probably, and then we'll get a number 1, and Sanchez will be a number 2. And with the number 2, you don't really have to worry about it because he's just going to play in the cups. So I'm not too bothered unless something happens, really, unless something major happens to change my mind.
Gene, I get what you're saying. We'll see what happens when he starts playing. He's not going to be the starter to start the season off. It's going to be Kepa, and then he'll be integrated into it. He'll gain his confidence, I'm sure. But big up to yeah, I don't know how to read that. I'm sorry. Does anyone know how to read that?
Let me check. I feel like this is either Russian or Ukrainian, but I need to double check.
It's one or the other. Thank you so much for the super chat, $1.99. This is like polishing a turd. Both are mid goalkeepers. I don't think both are mid. Well, I don't think Sanchez is a mid goalkeeper. I think he's good. I would say it's like going from like a 60 to a 70 card. That's the way I look at it. So it's not, or not even 60. I'd probably like 70 to like an 80, or like a 75 to an 80. I think it is a decent upgrade. I don't think it's the upgrade we wanted, but it's definitely better. One thing that Chris said that I thought, like, you say he's not that big of an upgrade to Kepa, but then you name some things that Kepa is very poor at that Sanchez is going to be doing better at, which is like claiming the ball at set pieces, the long shots. You did say that. I think Sanchez is going to do a better job of claiming and being more dominant in his box. The passing thing, I get it. It's not like, prior to actually going to these games and seeing it in person, I didn't think the passing thing was a big deal. But then I started seeing the amount of times that Kepa, when he is under pressure and doesn't want to try to put a risky pass down the middle or to ping someone accurately, he'll just shoot the ball to the throw-in, and we just lose possession. It's like sometimes we're very wasteful in possession because our goalkeeper doesn't have the ability to pass it to the wing accurately, or pass it to Will. Let me know if you want the link. I'll go ahead and send you a link, or pass it to the middle. And I think the other thing too that we're missing out on not having a good keeper that can distribute the ball is opportunities on a counterattack to hit the striker on a counterattack or hit one of the wingers on a counterattack accurately. We haven't seen that or done that with Chelsea in God knows how long. It's an aspect of our game that we are missing. That I agree with you guys. I think the main thing for me is a good shot stopper, is a very good shot stopper. If he can pass the ball, I think that's an added bonus. But I think with Sanchez, we are getting that. It is a slight upgrade.
So can I come back to one of the arguments that you made? So you made the argument that you wanted a goalkeeper that's going to be able to start counter-attacks for you. Listen, if you get a shot
the ability
stopper,
to pass, yeah.
The ability, right? But if you have like a shot stopper there, the guy there, we already have someone such as like a Disasi. He's probably going to be soon to be the new starting right centre back. You already have Levi Colwill there, guys that you know can play those deep line playmaking balls that we need to go to those wingers, to those attackers. So do we necessarily need him to be the one initiating the attack? All he can do is the straight pass to Disasi. Disasi gets the ball over the top all the way to the whether it be the.
But that's an extra pass. That's an extra pass. That's an extra 1 or 2 seconds that you're wasting.
But again, even the point that you're making about he can still make that pass, he still needs to take time to do that. He's not going to straight away just be bang. He's going to have to hold on and kick it straight away. If he just passes straight away to Disasi and then he makes the move and the winger makes the move, it's roughly the same amount of time in my opinion. It's not.
I disagree.
I wouldn't say so, man.
I disagree, especially in the game of football right now where we have such fine margins, VAR, like those half seconds do matter. So I listen. I just said it. I don't think it's the most valuable aspect. I don't get this obsession with it, but I understand why people find it to be important, and I understand why Kepa isn't that guy. I see. Now that I've seen it in person, and I myself have gotten frustrated with the fact that why are we throwing away possession? Why don't you just ping the ball better? Why don't we have someone that can pass the ball better to Sterling, to Mudryk, to Madueke, whoever's on the wing, or Nkunku or Jackson, who's going for the counterattack? Why do we have to pass it to Thiago Silva and then work our way back? Like there's a whole line of players we can just bypass by having a goalkeeper that unlocks that for us. That's where I'm coming at. And don't get me wrong, I also think Sanchez is a very good shot stopper. People forget there's been some really good saves that he has made as a Brighton defender or a Brighton goalkeeper under the Brighton defense, who is not the same quality defense as ours. You could argue that because we have a better team, better players in that defense, he's gonna do a better job of maintaining those clean sheets. It's tough to do that at Brighton, so that's one impressive feat as well.
I'm not sure about that one in my opinion, but listen. At the end of the day, I think we're gonna.
If you're referring to him having bozo moments, every goalkeeper has bozo moments.
I have
now.
Checked. He only had one, I think,
oh my god!
At Chelsea, not Arsenal.
Czech is probably top 5 of all time. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not probably. He's top 4 of all time.
No. I'm talking about not just in the Premier. I'm talking about of all time.
No, any league is top 4 of all time.
Yeah,
I can argue that.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not even disagreeing with you here, Quest. Okay, but the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm just trying to make is that I get the passing. The passing and everything that you're trying to make, right? But at the end of the day, as long as you have a game plan and everything's sorted out, I don't mind having a shot stopper for me personally. But listen, again, we can agree to disagree on this one. I still have a school of thought that this guy is probably going to be the future second number 2 goalkeeper.
Yeah, I agree with
for the football club, and that he's a stopgap, and that the club are probably trying to move, have someone in there for one season, and then when Kepa's really got 1 year left on his deal, we can finally move in one. And then we can get a top goalkeeper in. That's for me. But
I was surprised with the length of contract, but it does look like he's just going to be. Well, at least I would like to believe he's going to be the keeper that once Kepa leaves on a free next season, it's going to have to be.
No, he's not going to be on a free
season after. It's not free the season after.
Yeah, it's still got on, but he's got 2-year contract. So this year and then the year after. So next
that's what I meant.
1 year left.
Yeah. So next season, what I meant by that is like the end of next season. So at the end of next season, Kepa goes on a free. We have Sanchez, our number 1, in the meanwhile, until we get like that world class keeper. Because I think that's the thing too. I think Sanchez, when Kepa's gone, and we're still, because I don't want to settle either on a goalkeeper. I want to get a Maignan, or I want to get someone of that ilk into the club. So I think Sanchez can hold the fort until we get that goalkeeper. at least it's a good placeholder until we get that perfect goalkeeper, the next Czech, the next whoever you want to say it. So we'll see. We'll figure that out. But that's the whole thing with Sanchez. I think this is a very good discussion, and we'll see what, I feel like there's a lot of people that are hating on Sanchez, think he's not like the same as Kepa. And you know what? I'm just looking forward to.
Can I just say quickly on Maignan though? Like you say, get Maignan when Kepa's contract is up. Maignan going to be 30.
An example of a player like Maignan or something.
Okay, well, unless someone comes up and becomes that kind of quality, if we went in for a guy like Maignan, he'd be 30 by the time Kepa's contract is up. And if we're looking at Slonina as that guy, I think I just don't know if that's the kind of investment we'd look at. It'd probably be like I said, you'd have to wait for someone to hopefully develop somewhere else into the quality of an Onana or a Maignan or someone of that ilk.
Mm-hmm. But another thing too that I want to add about the Sanchez deal, I know people say that we overpaid, and I do agree, because the player didn't want to be there anymore, and Brighton wanted to get rid of him. But I will say, doing this favor for Brighton might help us out with the Caicedo deal. I can see that argument. We'll see. Maybe it does. Maybe it does.
I personally don't.
Marshall, someone actually just mentioned Bergstrom. The really tall, lanky goalkeeper that was playing against Fulham. No, you never know. Maybe he might, after a loan spell somewhere, rise up. You never know, bro. Maybe. Yeah.
You might be right.
You got Woodcheddar, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good
I was going to say that I personally
we'll
don't think that this has much of an impact on our relationship with Brighton. I mean, it might help a little bit, but we already paid them 20 for Potter and his coaching staff. We already paid them 60 for Cucurella. We already sold them 2 academy players on the cheap.
Well, yeah, we'll go over that. I have a tweet going over that. We will go over the Caicedo stuff. I promise you guys. We're getting there. We're getting really close.
Just quickly, just to add, I don't think it's going to have any effect on our relationship at the end of the day. I just think that both of them are separate deals, and I just think because the price was already known for Sanchez, everyone knows he's 20 million plus 5 million add-ons, of course. Mm-hmm.
The thing is, though, you guys have to remember that there is a 20% of that Caicedo contract and that sell-on clause that Brighton is not going to get. So maybe throwing in a little extra for Sanchez so that they can get a little bit of the extra money they wanted maybe helps negotiate that Caicedo deal. We'll discuss. Let's speaking on negotiating that Caicedo deal, let's talk about another thing that is slightly relevant to that as well, which is Cherki and Kudus being the main talking point there. But let's talk about Cherki too while I'm at it. So here we got Ryan Cherki to Chelsea is not happening, a reporting by Nathan Gissing. Then we move forward to the next tweet as well. Nathan Gissing reporting that I am told Chelsea aren't the biggest fans of his attitude. It stinks to hear that. We'll see what I don't think anything's going to happen now with this. It's been dead for a while now. So anyone who had hopes on Ryan Cherki, I'm sorry to tell you, it's going to be either Kudus. Well, it's going to be Olise probably, because Kudus is the following. So leading up to what happened recently, Chelsea are more active than Arsenal on Mohamed Kudus, and perhaps have even offered him a slightly better package as well. Then we have Fabrizio Romano earlier in the week saying Chelsea called some people close to Mohamed Kudus to be informed on the conditions of the deal, but there has been no bid and there's nothing concrete yet. And then here we have David Ornstein with the Ornstein Dagger. Exclusive Brighton Hove Albion reach agreement in principle with Ajax to buy Mohamed Kudus for 40 million euros. 23-year-old Ghana international close to agreement on personal terms. Deal not fully done, but key De Zerbi target and would be a Brighton Hove Albion record signing. And then I think I have another tweet. Here we go. Mohamed Kudus officially starts for Ajax as Brighton agreed a 40 million euro fee already in July. Still waiting to agree on personal terms as mentioned yesterday. Not a done deal yet. More contacts will follow to get it done on the player's side. I understand some people may be upset about this whole Kudus thing, but if you remember, not too long ago, we had mentioned a Fabrizio Romano tweet where he states that Chelsea, Brighton want Kudus. In order for them to get Kudus, they would need to sell players. The biggest one being Caicedo. So
Well, I think people may say, and I think this is a fair point to make, that
over it.
they've just sold Sanchez for £25 million. So maybe part of that money is coming from.
It's 20.
Huh?
It's 20 though.
Well, 20 plus add-ons. Obviously, there's still another 20 million.
Add-ons, they have to wait for that.
They got both Deivid from Borussia Dortmund for free, Thingy for and they also got Milner for free. So they haven't really spent that much money. So you never know. Maybe they mean to sell Caicedo. We'll find out this week, in my opinion, sooner rather than later, whether or not that's the case. But when it comes to Kudus, again, as I said to you before, obviously there's Olise that we've been looking at, and Kudus we've been looking at. They're two different, I think, in my opinion, different camps. Kudus is much more of a scoring camp, in my opinion. Someone that's going to provide you a lot of goals, in my opinion. At the end of the day, and maybe the club, because they've seen like how good Jackson's been, they know Nkunku's a very good scorer himself. They're like, maybe we need someone alongside Mudryk and Madueke to help in terms of the creativity that we need. So that's probably why they've chosen Olise over Kudus, and it's prem proven. That's something that the club are clearly looking for. Yep, prem proven as well.
So, I mean, boys, do you have anything else you want to add, Oliver or Chris?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. That being said, I think this is in part us trying to play nice with Brighton. This is just my belief. There's no facts here. We'll go over some of the things that maybe help me believe that this is what's happening. I think now that I think Chelsea have agreed a deal with Brighton for Caicedo. We'll go over the news, but I think as things stand, because they agreed to a deal, they went ahead and approved and basically gave Brighton the ability they needed to go ahead and fetch Kudus. I think now that they have Kudus, that means that they agreed to get rid of Caicedo. I think it's done. I think this is what Fabrizio had mentioned earlier. I think getting rid of Caicedo was the factor that they had, the speed bump that they ran into in order for them to get Kudus. Now, it's not done yet. I know Kudus has to get done, but let's go ahead, because I'm beating around the bush here. Let's just go ahead and start talking about Caicedo. Okay, so potentially a done deal for Caicedo. Let's discuss why I think this. So, despite Chelsea having several bids rejected, Chelsea and Brighton have a good relationship. This was earlier in the week, going over some of the tweets leading up to the most recent tweets that happened yesterday and today. So here we also have, if Caicedo and Sanchez joined Chelsea, Chelsea would have taken double figures from players and staff. Mark Cucurella, Graham Potter, Billy Reed, Bjorn Hamburg, Kyle McCauley, Ben Roberts, Bruno Saltor, Paul Winstanley. So we've been doing a lot of negotiation with Brighton. It seems like we have a very good relationship with Brighton as a result of doing all this. So another reason why they might be inclined to work with us so that we can get Caicedo. So, okay, we're going to buy Sanchez from you. We're going to give you a little extra money so that you can make up for that money you're not going to get from the Caicedo deal because of the sell-on clause. And now you have a little bit of money to fetch Kudus, and you'll have that money especially if you give us Caicedo. So, moving on. Moises Caicedo has admitted to guests at the Brighton 2022-2023 awards evening that he wants to leave this summer. It was claimed by one of the guests that the 21-year-old didn't hold anything back his desire to depart the club permanently. This was reported quite a bit after that happened. But this is something that I thought was interesting. Actually, no, not next tweet. More talks between Chelsea and Brighton took place over Moises Caicedo and Robert Sanchez. Chelsea want both players, but a gap in valuation still remains. And this is, I'm just going to say, if you're a member, go ahead and use your Drogba cap emojis right now, because I think this was one big cap. So spam those caps, please. Moises Caicedo camp have been told by Brighton that the £80 million plus bid, surpassing Chelsea's rejected offer from a new unnamed Premier League club, is confidential. They don't know the identity or whether the offer is real. However, contrary to some reports, Liverpool has not bid. This is coming from Ben Jacobs.
That is genuinely hilarious. They really expect us to believe that if they got a bid that they wouldn't know who it's from. Yeah.
I call cap. I call cap.
I think we all do. I mean, yeah. How can you not know who the club is? That's like the most important part of the decision from a player's point of view.
It's
and it's a Premier League club.
It was confidential. Like, if there was a team that actually everyone would have known about it. So let's continue.
Our several bids wasn't like all that, like hidden. Why was that one bid hidden?
I know. So Chelsea aren't scared about the mystery club for Moises Caicedo. They hope the deal with Sanchez will help the relationship with Brighton. Moises Caicedo is still pushing to join Chelsea. Talks are ongoing. No combined package deal is too slow for negotiations, Fabrizio Romano reporting. Then we got the more updates. This guy. Do you guys hear this guy?
The shaky
This
camera.
guy. Here, let me. You guys can't hear the audio. Hold on.
Yeah, Marshall, look at his shaking camera though. Like that camera's shaking.
Yeah, it's so I don't know if you guys heard this. This is so hilarious. It's more of this.
Tic tac.
Let me
Tic tac.
let me go ahead and share the
Tic
tab.
tac.
I thought this was hilarious. So we have not Spanish, Ecuadorian reporter here. I have to play this.
Señoras y señores,
So
atención.
we got his attention.
Ahora, dale bola. 23 horas.
The shots are freaking hilarious. This guy is crazy, bro.
No,
But
it's the
that's how
shaky
they do
cam.
it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the guy who can't hold the camera for
El
shit.
día lunes se va a oficializar
This is
la
insane.
venta. Ahora sí real.
Okay, so just to translate it, basically he's essentially saying right now it's gonna be official. The sale of Moises Caicedo for $120-something, which that's how they do finances over there in the Americas. Here in the Americas, I should say, not over there. I'm here. Essentially saying that it's going to be announced tomorrow. We will see, but they're essentially saying that this is official. It's done. He is going to be a Chelsea player, and it's going to be announced on Monday. Chelsea is going to take Moises Caicedo. It's done. But let me go ahead and go back to my original screen.
Good to know that you got Google Translate, man.
Tic tac.
Yes, I
Understood
am.
that, by the way.
Tac.
I got
TikTok,
DCC in Spanish,
TikTok.
so knew that very
This
well.
this guy's our new TikTok guy. I might have to save him in the soundboard. But let's continue. So then we have PYS reporting Chelsea are preparing a new bid for Moises Caicedo and remain intent on signing him before the start of the Premier League season, which is only 8 days away from today, boys. Right?
No,
No,
Seven?
for us,
4
it's a
days.
week. Yeah, 7.
4 days away.
Yeah. So
What? No, it's
well,
4
our
days
game,
away.
our game against
We
Chelsea.
play Liverpool in a week today.
Yeah, but Friday. The first Premier League game's on Friday.
We're talking about
Okay,
Chelsea.
okay.
though.
So our first Premier League game will be in a week. So they're trying to get it done this week. Who knows? Maybe the Ecuadorians, right? It's done tomorrow, or officially announced tomorrow. Moises Caicedo, not in the squad today, comes with a clear message from the player. He wants to leave. Chelsea have to improve bid and make a deal. Talks ongoing. So yeah, for those who do not know, Moises Caicedo, there was a game with Rayo Vallecano today, and Caicedo was not involved. So here we have Ben Jacobs reporting. Brighton CEO Paul Barber confirms Moises Caicedo missed the Vallecano game with a hamstring strain. Moises Caicedo had a slight hamstring injury late in training and was pulled out for that reason. With a Premier League season just a week away, it makes no sense to risk him today. We're looking forward to Moises Caicedo starting the season with us. He's a Brighton player under a long-term contract. He's probably one of the most exciting young midfield players in the world at the moment, and we're delighted to have him. Then Ben Jacobs continues to say, however, there are still counterclaims. Even after Brighton's explanation, Caicedo didn't want to play in the game. Is not injured and wants to move to CFC as soon as possible. Ultimately, despite the different narratives and Brighton have gone on record, let's not forget, situation remains that Chelsea must now go above the 80 million pounds, and Brighton argue considerably above, to get Caicedo. It might seem like it's dragging on and getting acrimonious.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's acrimonious, but the clubs do actually have a good relationship. And I think even De Zerbi said in a presser today, I don't know what is going to happen with Caicedo, but like Brighton, we will get someone to replace him if he were to leave or something like that, if we don't have him. Listen, all paths are leading and hinting that this deal might already be done and that it is going to be announced Monday. I'm inclined to believe that come tomorrow, we will hear maybe a here we go. I'm hoping we hear a here we go. I think this is done. I think everything that Fabrizio said earlier, they need to sell Caicedo in order to get Kudus. I think they did that. Us giving them Sanchez was a little bit of a, here, have a little extra money because I know you're losing out on that money that you would if you don't sell Caicedo for 100 mil. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. You tell me what you think.
Okay, time to come to reality. Ahmed Abdi's here too.
Time to be negative, you mean? Go ahead.
No, time to be reality. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's have it right.
Let's go.
I personally think obviously there's some. It seems from what we've seen that Caicedo is not trying to push the deal to go through. Do I think the deal will happen? Yes. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or tomorrow after will happen. I think more than likely Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when they're probably going to see some level of movement or bids accepted or something like that in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll be honest. It seems that the final push may be working. Obviously, the tone from the Zerbi changed. We're seeing similar stuff that's similarly happened with Cucurella. And, you know, the thing with this situation is Chelsea going to put the £100 million? That's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. Are we going to put the £100 million down? Yes or no? If you decide, okay, we need to put £100 million down, then it's going to happen. If it's not, then it's not going to happen, guys. It's just really simple as that. And, you know, listen, Liverpool don't have a CDM. We don't have a CDM right now. A holder. So listen, if we can get one before this week, before Liverpool, hey man, we might be, you know what I mean, we'd be a bit more of a stable team. Come on, man. I'm not saying
as things stand, that game has like 4-3 scoreline written all over it. Like honestly, just the it's going to be like a basketball game. Just the possession swinging back and forth, and just like counterattacks everywhere.
Bro, Oliver, I was telling this to Marshall. Yeah, the last game against Borussia Dortmund, bro, it was attack, defense. There was virtually no control. No midfield. Like Gallagher was just doing random things here, where he was like Gallagher was doing random interceptions, and that was pretty much it. Enzo said, "You know what? Yeah, fuck it, I'm not a midfielder anymore, man. I'm a cam." He literally was playing the final third, bro. It was that bad, bro.
No, wait. Do you guys remember we played Liverpool? This is straight after Lukaku's interview. We played them at Stamford Bridge. It's the one where Pulisic scored.
We did a crazy TT. Yeah.
Pulisic and Kovacic scored those two goals. That was a basketball game as well. You had Kante and Kovacic just couldn't hold the ball in the midfield. Like this is going to be the exact same thing. Only we're going to have Gallagher instead. Like, yeah.
I can't lie to you though. I definitely do think though. Yeah, we're probably going to have to bring in a 10 soon, very soon. And there's I've got a little theory of mine that once we get the Caicedo deal, you know, completely wrapped up, that we're gonna do a little cheeky thing here where we steal Kudus from them in the last second. You know what I'm saying?
That would be so.
You never know, bro. That would be a dickhead move. But listen,
that would be really dickhead move.
That's a trifecta, you know. Get Colwill on a 6-year contract, get Caicedo, and get Kudus.
Yeah,
I
so
will say
what happened. I was gonna say because I swear Brighton, like when it's all started, like before the bidding we've done, like the 7 bids or whatever. I swear Brighton said they would have accepted like 80-something million plus
before the Rice deal.
Yeah.
before the Rice deal.
So
But they were waiting.
Basically.
But remember, Chris, they were waiting for the Rice deal because they knew Rice was probably gonna go for 90 to 100 million pounds. Everyone knew that, bro. So they were just waiting for that to happen.
I will say if Declan Rice is worth 100 million, I can see why they think Caicedo is worth 100 million because I think Caicedo is a better player than Declan Rice on the ball and everything. I think he's better defensively. You can probably definitely say Declan Rice, but like overall player, like I would say Caicedo is a better player. But we'll see more in the future, of course.
Over 150 of you guys watching. Make sure you are smashing that like button. That is an impressive number, an impressive feat. Thank you for being here. We're doing our best to give you guys as much news as we know up to date in the last week and everything that happened. So be sure to smash the like button because it does help out the channel tremendously. And I do appreciate you guys for doing that. So big up to you guys. Over 150 you guys watching. That's insane. That's an insane number.
Make sure to sub to Marshall's channel. And make sure to sub to my channel too. I'm only 40.
Everything is down below, guys, in the description. So check out all that stuff there. But let's try to get to 80 likes, please. I would appreciate it. It's on our way to 100. I said I would be happy if we make it to 100 likes today. So I really do appreciate it. But back to the Caicedo topic. I reckon, guys, we might actually get this done for 90 plus 5 in add-ons. I think it's not going to be 100.
100 million. It's
I
going to
think
be 100
it'd be
million. I'm
90
letting you
plus
know right
10.
now. It's 90 plus 10.
I don't even mind to spend 100 million on Caicedo because it's a position
I don't either.
where I just feel like if we sign Caicedo, we're definitely, well, not definitely, but I think we're 100% like fighting for top 4 and a good chance getting top 4 if we have that DM next to Enzo with like obviously Santos, Gallagher, and all that like on the bench to help out. But yeah, like I just want that. I don't really want us to sign players like a 45 million centre back, but I guess we're signing Chalobah now, so he'll make like 30 million hopefully. I didn't really want to sign a second striker since we only playing 1 game a week. Like we can play Nkunku and strike or something as well, like if needs to be as well. So
He's injured though.
Is it a big injury? Because I haven't really seen on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to discuss that in the beginning of the hour. Okay, hold on. Let me find that tweet. Continue talking about that, by the way.
Well, you say he's injured. I don't know how long he's injured for, Oliver, and I doubt it's long. Because when I saw when he got injured, like it looked like it's just been careful.
He got injured?
And
Nkunku.
It would have took him.
We'll discuss it.
Nkunku's going to be, it's been confirmed. Nkunku's going to be out for weeks. So you definitely
All right, no, we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, so like it's literally like the question for Nkunku is, okay, if Nkunku is gone, he's going to be playing the 10, or are we really going to be starting Carney Cucurella in the 10 role?
Right.
I think unless we get a player there, it will be him because Gallagher's been seen more as a pivot player. So I think in the current standings, it would be Carney.
Or maybe you would hope that if Caicedo comes in, he plays alongside Enzo, and then you bring in Gallagher to be the 10. Even though I don't like that, that might actually have to happen.
I mean, we need to see we need to actually see if Poch actually thinks of him in that role. I just don't know yet.
Yes, Aaron, we have card trick tutorials, buddy. Don't you worry about that. I actually do a lot of card tricks actually on my channel from time to time. So
interesting.
I'll say.
But like, we need a DM. Like, it was my most important position. Like, start this like transfer.
We're probably gonna get 2. Like, you know what I told you, Marshall. Obviously, if
what other DM? I don't think we need 2 though, because we've got like Santos, Gallagher, and all that. Unless we start Gallagher.
No. So
Cassidy. I mean.
No. Again, the recent news that's been coming out of Tyler Adams and it being a completely separate deal, it looks like the club are trying to bring in 2 CDMs. And that's from what and the reason why I say that is that
we'll get to every single bit of what you're talking about. Before we do that, let me just, because I was supposed to talk about this. I am so sorry. Give me one moment, ladies and gents. Oops. I made an oopsie. I had a howler. You can go ahead and use those emojis, those bad take emojis right now, because I am in a bad take. Sorry. Anyways, cards. There we go. So let's discuss this real quick. I did mean to start the show with that, and I totally left the tweet out. Anyways, as Sarcasm reported, Chelsea are hopeful Nkunku's injury isn't bad and likely to be out weeks rather than months. Assessment continues as he was only back yesterday. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the pitch, I don't know if it's the collision, but we're not going to have Nkunku for Liverpool. That's very likely. Weeks, we don't know how long. And yeah, I think this goes to show we're going to need a backup 10, whether it be Olise, Kudus, the last minute hijacking of Kudus. I don't know. I don't think Carney is going to be the guy to I don't know what's happening with Carney just yet.
I'm not.
I think
for me, the thing for me when it comes to let's start with Nkunku, then I go to Connie. So with Nkunku, if he's gone then for weeks, then he's probably going to be missing the first week at the very least of the Premier League. Maybe he might be come back in time for the third he may be missing the Liverpool game, but he's probably going to be back for the second week game, which is against, I believe, Fulham. And that's the second thing for me, is that obviously Nkunku's gone. They now got Chukwuemeka. Now I don't know if Chukwuemeka is staying at the football club. You guys know my thoughts on that. If Gallagher is potentially staying at the football club, then is there a need for Chukwuemeka? Right? You're then obviously going for a route. There's also the rumored Tyler Adams coming in. So and you got Caicedo coming in. So that means for me at the very least, you got on that at least the LCM side, Caicedo, Tyler Adams, Enzo, Santos. That's what he's looking at to me. Enzo, then Santos, Ugo Chukwu going to Strasbourg. What's his name? Cassidy is going to Leicester. So then, if you bring in a 10, Nkunku, Olise or Madueke or Maatsen, then again Maatsen, Sterling or Finky right now. So where does Chukwuemeka get his minutes from?
Sorry. You know, like what Reece James Kingdom said, Maatsen as 10, like since Nkunku's injured. Yeah, I would actually play Maatsen as a 10 because he's so direct and everything, and his forward play is actually quite good. He can actually trap back and help defense as well. Like his link up's good as well. I would have Maatsen actually think about it. Like I'd have Maatsen over Chukwuemeka and Gallagher for sure as a 10.
I hate to blow people's bubble, but Gallagher's staying, lads. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, Gallagher's staying for the season.
He's got the most minutes played in preseason of any player.
Yeah, and and you know, unironically, people are gonna hate me. I've got a take. Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Okay, this is a crazy thing. People might be cooking me for this, but you know, obviously, remember when Tuchel was saying that he could Gallagher was like Kante, and that he's got like a ball and that he can be a Kante player. I think essentially Pochettino is retrialing this school of thought essentially. No. It's not even. I don't even think it's kind of even a hot take because of like how much energy that Gallagher's got. He's trying to do a similar situation with what he did with Moussa Dembele, where this guy can move around a lot, run around a lot, and then just get a random interception here and there, and then just move the ball on. I think that's probably what he's trying to do essentially. And I don't think it's much of a hot take. It's not even that much of a hot take.
I don't.
The difference is though, Kante and Dembele are intelligent players. Like I don't think Gallagher had. He's nowhere close. Never will.
But that's my point, Oliver. I think he's trying to use him as a pseudo player of those two. Essentially, that's what he's trying to do.
I don't necessarily.
The thing. You know what it is, JK? Yeah, I agree with you, but the reality of the situation is, is West Ham going to come with 45 million because that's the standard that Everton set for Gallagher to be sold. They and with the way they're moving right now, they're putting up job listings on Indeed.com.
Didn't we even want 50 million? I swear we wanted 50.
No, I think as the window goes on, you're not going to be able to get that high of a price for minimum.
I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah. So who's also going to come from after that? What Tottenham, Hoi. They start as Højbjerg. It looks like Højbjerg staying as well. So the two main clubs that wanted him already are not going to be moving in for him. So you're pretty much stuck with him.
Maybe Brighton might want him. You know, when we buy Caicedo.
Yeah.
They can buy.
They wouldn't touch him with a barge pole, can't they?
Here's the thing. I don't disagree.
Hey, beautiful game, bro. Beautiful game. Yes. I'm just saying what I think. I'm just saying what I think. Maybe the way the manager sees him. Don't get me wrong. People know my thoughts on Gallagher. I used to be a big fan of his, but like over what's happened over the last few seasons, last season it's not been. He's had a crazy fall off.
You just think he's the Kante 2.0. That's all.
Sorry,
I don't know about that.
I didn't say that.
I don't think he's not saying
no,
that.
I didn't say that.
He's not saying that.
I didn't say that.
Right.
I said Tuchel. I said Tuchel. That's what Tuchel thought.
No, but you agree with it, so you think of that as well.
No, I don't. I said they're trying to use him.
He runs a lot. Like I get why you think that. He runs around. He's got good work rate.
He's not saying he thinks it.
What are you talking? I didn't say I think it.
Boys, I think he's trolling.
Yeah, he's just trying to troll.
You take me too serious, man.
He's quoting Thomas Tuchel and his esteemed talent ID.
Yeah, but I do think he's trying to use it in the Dembele role, like the Moussa Dembele role. Because if you saw that game, what's it called? what's the game I'm thinking about? The Borussia Dortmund game. Like Gallagher was doing a great amount of interception plays, and Musin Dembele was a lot more known for doing those sort of things. So maybe like he's trying to tame the beast. But listen, this guy Gallagher, man, no technical ability. I literally complain about the fact
that he's a monster energy ad. Like what the fuck, dude?
Bro, I swear to God, bro, there's no technical.
You mean the dog, not the beast. You mean the dog.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about what Ahmed said. I don't necessarily disagree because when you look at certain aspect of Conte's game, which is the stamina to run and like the endurance to do that the whole game, yes, Gallagher has that. He has to work on the tackling ability because the ability that Conte had to tackle and do it cleanly without fouling a player was remarkable, world class. That's what made him so good. I can see what you're saying, Ahmed. It's going to take time. It's going to take refining. It's not going to happen overnight. I already have said that I've noticed an improvement in Gallagher this preseason versus all of his games last season. I think he has improved as a player. I think what he needs to work on is being able to progress the ball forward and not get dispossessed. I think he needs to work on a passing ability forward as well, not just from Cam, because I think he does have a decent passing ability and awareness when he's in Cam, but he needs to work on it from a DM position as well if he's going to be a DM, because that's also, have it right, guys. I never thought I would see the day where Gallagher would be a decent DM, but that Borussia Dortmund game, he was okay. I'd rather have Santos there. I think he's more comfortable in that position, but I think Gallagher can do a job. I don't think he should be the guy, though, because I feel like when Gallagher's there, it hinders Endo's performance. I'd rather have Caicedo, but it could be Gallagher who's the backup for Caicedo or Tyler Adams, which we will discuss shortly.
I think that's the key point. You need him to just come in and do a job. He started last season. He started half of our games, and the other half he came off the bench. So half of the games he played were starts. That can't be happening next season.
Yeah, he can't start for you. I said this already, man. He cannot start for you. He doesn't even fit though. Like we cannot pass through teams with him because of the fact that he's technically just dog crap. And listen, Concerned Caf Patron makes a point that I've always made here when you watch Gallagher in preseason and in the games beforehand. This guy has no spatial awareness. He doesn't like do the little what do they call it again? Scanning. He doesn't scan his surroundings. You know what I'm saying? That's the new word these days. Scan his surroundings. So. Man,
I mean, that's an important thing.
That's not a new thing
to have.
No, because they don't call it scanning. They used to call it something else.
You seen those clips of Xavi scanning? Like that's
what I'm saying to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, they used to call it something else back in the day. I can't remember what it was. But
just checking your shoulder, really.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I see what you're saying.
No. Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, he's not Kante 2.0, guys. Again, I'm not saying he's Kante 2.0. I've not said that. I said that he's trying to use him similarly to how
Ahmed thinks that. Don't worry. He thinks he's the white Kante. Like
I've never guys. If people have watched me. If people watch it on my channel, I am the ultimate critic of like.
Stop trolling Ahmed. He's not Kante.
Okay. All right. Anyway, listen.
Let's go ahead. I'm gonna save Ahmed. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is Tyler Adams. This is gonna be an interesting one. Listen, I'm taking off my American tinted glasses, okay? Just so you guys know, right? Because I'm sure people are gonna be thinking I'm skewed because I'm American. But let's be fair about this, okay? So, Chelsea want to add more depth and experience and are considering Tyler Adams, who has a clause in his contract, and Edson Alvarez. I don't think Edson Alvarez is done yet. He's supposed to be going to West Ham, but the deal is not a here we go just yet. So then we have Chelsea are considering the possibility of signing Tyler Adams from Leeds United as they remain deadlocked in talks with Brighton about Moises Caicedo. This is coming from Liam Toomey, not like the other Athletic reporter that was saying undisclosed or a secret bidder. Anyways, Chelsea have made contact with Tyler Adams' camp to be informed on conditions of the deal. Focus remains on Caicedo, separate talks and separate story. Let me go ahead and continue on. And this is something that, I think you appreciate this. And let me take this off so you guys can all see it. So here we have a chart of progressive duelists, and then we have rumored Chelsea target Tyler Adams ranks very high for progressive passes and defensive duels 1/90. provide this graph of U24 midfielder in top 5 leagues. So this is out of all the top 5 leagues, including the Bundesliga, Serie A, the French league, and so on and so forth. The American defensive mid can be purchased for £20 million via a release clause. And if you look, Tyler Adams stands right here when it comes to progressive duels and defensive duels and progressive passes. So he is going to be moving the ball forward. He is going to be winning duels. And I've seen him win duels in the World Cup. Obviously, people can say, take it with a grain of salt, it's the World Cup. I'll be honest, I never really rated Tyler Adams that much. Once I saw the World Cup, it changed my mind a little bit. I don't think he is Chelsea level or Chelsea starting level, but I can see him developing into a very good player under the right circumstances. But Ahmed, you wanted to share something? Oh, the injury record. Okay.
It's available.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to add this. Ahmed, you talk through this.
So, and before we start on this, I spoke about Tyler Adams as well. I think, don't get me wrong, he's got a very good defensive stats. Don't get me wrong. I looked at his stats as well. He Leeds, he was playing really well. They were playing quite crap without him anyway, if we're being honest, when he was injured and out for Leeds. He's a top player, don't get me wrong. And I just think for me, when it comes to him though, is he Chelsea level? That's the thing I made a point of. Is he Chelsea level? I don't think so. That's the thing. But like I think for me, maybe if I'm looking at it from a club perspective, maybe because they see Santos as much more of a backup, to Enzo, because he plays much better in the 8. You know, he actually plays really well in that second phase and third phase of play. Maybe that's why they see maybe Santos into developing. You bring in Tyler Adams as a placeholder while you got your Uguchukwus, developing at Strasbourg to get to the next level, and then you got your Caceres as well. So maybe that's what the club are trying to do. Tyler Adams is a temporary placeholder. You have him for £20 million. You can move him on for a lot more money in the future as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's it. And then you obviously have to look at his injury record as well. That is his injury record. So he's currently obviously out. He's currently obviously out with a hamstring injury, which is apparently set to come back from in end of August or early September. Obviously, he's had a lot of thigh problems, muscular problems, back trouble, torn muscle fibers. So he's had a current abductor problem, it seems. 1 or 2 back issues. So he's got quite a few 1 or 2 injuries, which are a bit, concerning if we're being honest.
Yeah, obviously that is concerning. I think a lot of people don't rate Tyler because he's at Leeds. But I would say that
no, it's not because the reason why no one rates him is because he's from the US of A, man. Let's be real, guys. Okay,
I was trying to be more generous. I don't want to say it's that, but it could be.
I can say that because I'm from here. Say I'm from England. I would just say it for you, because otherwise people start really biased. But at the end of the day, is he going to be a good depth? I don't mind him as depth. You know what I'm saying? If it's the case that Santos is going to be the backup to Enzo, you're doing him as a placeholder initially, while you get your Uguchukwus or your other guys that you're looking for to that level that you want them to be, where they can possibly be fighting alongside for starter positions with Caicedo. I think for me that makes sense, pretty much. But
Oliver, what are your thoughts on this? On Tyler Adams coming? Do you think he? Actually, yeah. Go ahead and cook, Oliver.
I don't know a lot about the player. I mean, the stats look promising. How old is he, by the way? You know what his age?
23. Can you just scroll up, Ahmed? Is his age up there?
His age is 24, no?
I think so, maybe. Can you just scroll up? Isn't it up there?
No, I'm not clicking to the tab right now. I'm using a different tab. My bad.
Oh, okay.
He's 24, yeah. He's 24.
He's 24, so he's kind of sort of at the end of his development, kind of. Like, he's not really going to get much technically better than he is. Without having watched him, though, I don't know how technically good he is. But hey, listen, I don't particularly mind. Like, I have heard people that say, "Oh, I don't want him because he's American and he'll bring bandwagon fans like with Pulisic." I think it's a completely different situation, because the reason people got annoyed with Pulisic's fans is because he was bad on the pitch, and those guys would try and argue against that. If Tyler Adams comes in and is good for us, then we're all going to be on the same page. So who cares about bandwagon fans or what have you? So I personally don't have too much of a problem with it. And it's the same thing with most of the other signings. Well, I'd like to trust in the scouting and the recruitment teams, and give them a chance on this, and hopefully it pays off. And it shouldn't be too expensive either for us getting what is right now a championship player.
Can you, Marshall? Can you bring up JK's comment, please?
This one.
Yeah. Also, he's not been out with his injuries. If you look at the chart, good God, use your eyes, lad. We didn't talk about obviously the time he's been out, but the number of he's had very similar injuries. That is a worry. Like, there's no denying that as well. Like, he's had abductor problems 3 times in the last 4 years, essentially. So
what is it with American injuries, man? What the hell?
So if we're being honest, there's it seems to be it does seem to be a recurring injury. The hamstring injury is kind of crazy. 145, that's 30, 60, 90, 120. He's always been out for 5 months essentially, with the hamstring injury. So we need to be careful.
Sure, but like if the idea, because it seems now with the whole Caicedo thing that we know now, it seems now that the idea is for Tyler Adams to be a backup and not necessarily plan B in case we don't get Caicedo. I think regardless, we should get the player because we do need a little bit more depth in that position. And who knows, he might grow out of the injury issues. Maybe this season going forward, he's not as injury prone. Who knows? That's me being hopeful, right? And he could develop into a better player as well. I think there is a good player there. Defensively, I think he's really good. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I like this link better than the next one we're going to be talking about. But
100%. I agree on that one.
Yeah, I think there's a good player here, especially for depth. We'll see what happens between the whole Caicedo thing. The injuries obviously does worry me. Of course, it would worry anyone. But as a backup, you would hope, he's fit. He stays more fit this season. And then we bring him in when players need rest and need to rotate.
But I think Keyshawn made the point that there's a difference between being hurt and injured. But at the end of the day, even if you're not injured or if you're hurt, you're still out of the team. You still can't play for them. So there's still that time being missed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, it's about attendance.
It's about attendance, and don't get me wrong. It seems last season he was actually the season before. RB Leipzig, he seemed to be playing regular football. It's only I think it's only 18, 19, and then this season where he's had a crazy amount of time out. Yeah.
I mean, and if you see how he plays, you can kind of understand why he gets hurt. It's almost like a Conte dilemma where you see the style like Conte plays. It makes sense why he gets hurt all the time.
He plays that heavy metal.
Adams is very physical.
He plays that heavy metal.
Very physical. Yeah. So it makes sense that he gets hurt.
To Bright Guy, is Santos confirmed to be staying? He's pretty much.
I believe so. We'll discuss player in and outs as well. We'll go over all of that.
But listen, I think JK, we'll just agree to disagree on this. But it doesn't matter if he's injured or hurt. He's still missing time. That is the main thing. If you're missing time, you're not playing on the pitch. You're not. So what are we doing here?
So let's go ahead and move on to the next link that was supposedly, which we just discussed, is I think better than which isn't as good as the Tyler. I think Tyler is a much better player than this next person.
Oh yeah,
let's go ahead and talk about Paredes.
I remember that day. It was the 3-0. Bro, Mendy, Arsen even put us on that day. Remember, Arsen scored a goal on Mendy.
Jesus Christ!
Gallagher couldn't hold the ball. Yo, that was
Aronson rode on
Koulibaly red card
for a minute. Yeah,
that was a nasty day on the.
That was a rough day. But anyways,
that was the first clean sheet they kept in months. By the way, that was disgraceful.
Oh my!
Let's discuss this. Chelsea are interested in Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Leandro Paredes after becoming frustrated by the lack of progress in their Moises Caicedo move. Moving on to the next tweet here. Pochettino is an admirer of Leandro Paredes, coming from Jacob Steinberg. He's Argentinian, right?
He's an Argentinian World Cup winner.
Yes.
So of course he would be an admirer.
Ironically, he was on loan to Juve, another club that we know about. Listen, man. At the end of the day, bro, astaghfirullah. Let's just say astaghfirullah. You know what I'm saying? Let's not. We need to get God on our side here first. You know what I'm saying? Let's not make this happen. Listen, just because someone can admire someone doesn't necessarily mean they want them. You know what I'm saying? You can admire someone because he's a good player, but I don't think the club are gonna go after him. You know what I'm saying? I think Paredes is 29, no 30. So I don't think the club's gonna be going for someone
exactly.
30, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't make sense.
They like him younger. You know what I'm saying? The club like him younger. Oh my god, was it that bad?
Let's go backstage then, yeah? We'll go backstage.
Hey.
So all I'm saying after seeing this tweet is, cue up the League Gunner buzzwords video, scouting the player, admiring, luring. Yeah.
Looking into, scouting.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh my god. I don't know much about this guy.
Oh my god.
And probably because I don't know much about him. And it's probably because he's not as great as I don't think he's that good. I remember him slightly.
Back up to Rodrigo De Paul.
I was gonna say he must have been back up to DePaul because I don't even remember much of it about him in the World Cup. If he even made like a stamp, I don't.
And he doesn't play for PSG, does he? Like, how often does he play for PSG?
Wait, how long has he been at PSG? He's been at PSG for a while, right?
Yeah, so
so Poch got to coach him, right?
Chelsea was actually after Paredes when he was possibly on the move to when he was going to PSG. We were actually one of the clubs who were interested in him at the time, but he decided to go to PSG, obviously, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I 100% rather have Tyler Adams than Paredes. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but it's just there's more ceiling for this other player. I think it fits our mold a lot better, especially if we're trying to go for a DM. And I think the other thing too that Poch probably likes about Tyler Adams, if he likes Tyler Adams, is the work rate. Tyler Adams is a hard worker. You can see it by how he displayed in the World Cup and how he displayed for Leeds. So
even playing for the Red Bull clubs, they play pressing games themselves. So
he's also a leader. I should say that he is very vocal. So
I know
he's the captain for the United States. Yeah.
So
and he was the captain at Leipzig as well. So
you got Disasi, obviously he was a deputy captain at Monaco. You got him as a captain. Thiago Silva as a captain. So
that's good. We're getting some leaders in the club.
You're bringing some leaders, right? So
yeah, we need that.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to my boy Paredes, respectfully, next.
All right, on to the next thing that we were going to discuss, and I already had it on the screen. Oops. Let's go ahead and discuss Olise. So, internally, Chelsea view Michael Olise as more of an attacking mid rather than a winger. Okay, I was saying that earlier. For some reason, something about the way he plays strikes me as an attacking mid. I think maybe because of the creativity, but I can see why he plays on the right wing also. I mean, he does have a good ability to dribble past players. But moving on, Michael Olise is on Chelsea's list. There are people at the club who rate him as one of the best talents in the Premier League. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. And then the last tweet I have here, and the latest, is Chelsea have made a £25 million verbal proposal to sign Michael Olise. Personal terms are already agreed. Chelsea's still waiting for guarantees on his hamstring injury. And if I read correctly or vaguely know what's going on, he tore his hamstring in the under 23s for France. Is that correct?
Yep.
And so he's recovering from that currently. I don't know if he's been training on grass and all that, but it is kind of a risk factor that I hope, because of that situation, maybe we can negotiate a more reasonable offer with Crystal Palace. I do think this player is really good. I can see him as an attacking mid, and considering especially how Sterling has been this season, not knowing what's going to happen with his future, we do need someone on that right side that can put in a shift. We don't know what's going on with Madueke either, or what's going on with him. We haven't seen him play in the preseason.
Madueke ain't even starting in the league.
I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know what's happening with him.
Sterling's probably going to have to start.
No, I guarantee you it's going to be Sterling. It's almost guaranteed. I don't think he deserves to start, but it's almost likely going to be him. I think we need someone like Olise. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Like when the Cherky, Kudus, Olise rumors started to go out, people were saying like, we don't need Olise. Now it's looking like, you know what? We were planning ahead and we're being smart about this, and we are going to need Olise. I think we need to get this signing now. Unless you want to play Ziyech, Ahmed.
It's not. Say, what did he say? Yeah.
Unless you want to play Ziyech.
I love the Ziyech. Come on, man. Don't kill me, man. Don't kill me, man. Oh, my Lord. If I see Ziyech play for Chelsea in that new kit, bro, I'm going to swing. I'm going to go and find Ziyech.
I think it's too soon to say that Madueke is going to be sold. He had a decent stint last season. Bro, he got hurt in the U21s.
The thing with Madueke, man, I just want him to be fit, bro. Like, he need to be fit, man. Like, I don't know what's been going on since the
quarter. He fit last season. I mean, just the timing now.
To be fair, he wasn't even playing, bro. That's the thing, though. He wasn't playing too much. So maybe that was kind of.
He played what, the last 5 games?
Yeah, the last 5 games, but like remember, like from January to like almost like April essentially, he wasn't playing. If you're being real, like we played like 1 game. But going back to like the starting against Liverpool, like it's not looking good, bro. It's probably gonna be Nicholas Jackson, Mudryk, Sterling, either Chukwuemeka or Maatsen. And
Maatsen could play the right wing technically.
So it's looking spooky hours, man. Oh my Lord have mercy.
146 of you guys watching. Let's get those 100.
The dark days are back, man. The dark days are back. But seriously, Olise, I'm a big fan of his. I'm absolutely a big fan of Olise's. Hopefully, Chelsea can have a look at his hamstring injury and they can assess. But hopefully, he's good enough such that he will come back. And at the end of the day, I get what DHL's point about maybe Kudus being better. I just think for me, it depends on what you want from both Kudus and Olise. I've said that before. Olise for me is probably going to be someone that's going to be helping you get that final ball towards the striker to help them to finish it off, or to the winger. And Kudus is much more he has the ability to finish. That's the weapon that he has over Olise, in my opinion. Whereas with Olise, he's a good free kick taker. He's got a good whippy on him, a whippy shot. So at the end of the day, man, just who are you looking for? You can get both, in my opinion, to be honest, looking at the way we are right now. Because I don't know, man. I think the club eventually, if Madueke continues on the way he is, the club is going to probably have to make a similar decision as they made with what's his name, Wesley Fofana, where you might need to bring in a new right wing, essentially.
So, I like the Olise signing. I can't speak much on Kudus. I would like more goals, but at the end of the day, if we can create enough for Jackson and potentially another striker that we might get, which we'll discuss, I think then we're settled in the goal department. So maybe Olise is the guy, but I really want someone for that right wing. I mean, Maatsen probably could do a job. For how long though? And maybe it was just that 1 game he looked decent. Maybe he doesn't, maybe it's not naturally where he feels right. I don't know. We have a lot of thinking to do, but this is definitely a deal that should get done. I hope it does. I hope the conditions of the hamstring are favorable to us. And he's a Chelsea player before the end of the transfer window, because, hey, you guys got to remember, time's ticking. Time's a ticking. Transfer window, I believe, is over September 1st, right?
Yep. So what you got
closing in
20
3 more weeks,
24 days.
Yeah, we're very close to the end of the transfer window.
3 weeks and 3 days, lads.
We got to get moving. And on the topic of moving, we got to talk about this guy potentially leaving as well. I hate to say it, but it looks like that's just what's going to happen. So let's bring up some tweets. These are a little old, but hey, we're going to discuss them now. West Ham are interested in Trevor Chalobah. Yeah. It was 6 days.
I had a mustache then. I had a mustache then. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ! You need to work on your mustache game, man. Chelsea are working on a loan and potential option with Inter Milan for Chalobah, according to 345 Sam. 345 Sam. Yeah. Di Marzio is speaking on Sky Italia. I'll post any update. Okay, so. Yeah, it looks like there's moves being made. There's not much of an update on this, except that it looks like he's on his way out. It's going to be either Inter or West Ham. I'm sure there's going to be other clubs that come up, but It stinks.
I don't know, man.
I think he's a good player, but you know what? I think he has to develop. He's not going to get playtime
No,
here.
it is Marshall. No, it is Marshall. The way that Indeed.com, aka West Ham, have been moving, I'm not sure they can afford Chalobah. Inter can't afford Chalobah too, but maybe there might be a random third club who comes in for 35 million for Chalobah. I think it was like kind of like a reticent that he was going to be leaving the club the moment that you kept on hearing possibly Gerhi was coming in. Obviously the club did a little smoke screen for Gerhi and came out of Axel Disasi as the player that they had brought, which was really nice and well. And listen, he's a good player, he's very good, he's a good squad player, he's very versatile, but at the end of the day he's just surplus to requirements. So I just hope at the end of the day, man, I just hope he get whichever club he goes to next, he gets the game time that he wants and he's happy. You know what I'm saying? Much like a Tomori, much like a Tammy Abraham. So.
By the way, ladies and gents, thank you so much. We have hit 100 likes on the stream. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot for the channel. It does help it tremendously. So you guys were a big part of that. Big up to you guys in the chat for smashing those likes. We do appreciate it and continue to do so. Any like that we get helps the best. And I don't know how far away we are from 2100, but if we are close, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you are notified whenever we go live, but mostly subscribe because we are on our way to 3K. So help us grow the channel. And thank you, everyone, the new guys here, everyone who's in the chat. I see some new faces. Welcome. I hope you guys are enjoying your stay here, and hopefully we'll see you in more streams in the future as well. Let's go on to, unless, Oliver, you have anything you want to say on Chalobah, any departing notes, because it looks like he's not going to stay. So,
I mean, West Ham can afford him. It's just the fact.
How much is the selling price? Does anyone know? Do you know, Oliver?
35 million is the price. I'm pretty sure.
But the thing is, I reckon the fact that they got 100 million for Rice, people are going to overcharge for their players. When West Ham come in for their players, other clubs are going to overcharge to take to sell them to West Ham because they have that money. So that might be just kind of like locking West Ham off from the rest of the market. The fact that they haven't gotten a lot of their business done before they sold Rice.
But also, that's the other thing you said, Oliver. They haven't gotten a lot of business done. I don't even think
they haven't signed a player yet.
Yeah, they haven't signed a player yet, but they were linked with one player. Oh my goodness, it's on the tip of my tongue.
They were linked with Polina before, but I don't know. I think that might have gone quiet.
No, it wasn't Polina. It was
Zakharyan, but then he's gone to Monaco, by the way.
Not even Zakharyan.
Then Zakharyan. But due to get Edson Alvarez now is
there we go. Thank you. Edson Alvarez, who, to be fair, I don't really rate the kid, but Edson Alvarez, apparently they're gonna go for it. And it's not done yet, but they have the money. I don't know.
Apparently,
what makes you guys think they don't have the money?
According to what's this called, the Ajax guy that's on Twitter. You know the guy, the famous yeah. And also, JK, if you just want to say that it's just me, you can just say it's me. I don't understand. I don't listen. Don't hide behind the comments. If you think I'm waffling about something, just come out and say it. I don't understand. There's nothing to hide about. So just come and say what you need to say.
Oh Jesus, I see it now.
No, bro.
All right.
No. It's nothing.
Want the smoke?
It's nothing more, Marshall. No, I'm saying if he has something that he disagrees with me with, we can disagree with each other. Doesn't mean I'm waffling about something just because I don't disagree.
Hey, listen, you guys can disagree all you want. All we ask is don't be degrading, don't be insulting. Just have your disagreements and explain why and whatever. We can always have a debate about these things. And Ahmed's always down to get smoked in the debate, so it is what it is.
Is that so, Marshall? How am I TV, man?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about again something that we didn't get to discuss. Everyone knows about this already, but I think we should add our 2 cents on this because we didn't actually get to talk about it. Colwill, here we go. Colwill signed a deal, and a nice big deal, by the way. So let's go ahead and bring this up. So, hey, the Zerby, you can stop fantasizing about Colwill. He's our player and never really was yours. He went on loan. Stop saying you're missing Colwill. You never had him, okay? You just had a loan, okay? It was a favor, okay? But let's talk about Ornstein here. Chelsea have agreed a new 6-year contract with Levi Colwill. Deal has yet to be signed, but is now in place, plus commits 20-year-old left-sided center back Stamford Bridge till at least 2029. That is a 6-year deal, ladies and gents. Seen as having massive role for club and country. We move on to the next tweet. Teamwork made difference at Chelsea to reach an agreement over new deal with Colwill. When Stanley and Stewart working on that for months, insisting on not for sale. Pardon me, not for sale stance. Pochettino, crucial, spoke to Colwill since day one as top center back part of project for present and for future. Moving on. Levi Colwill will sign broadly the same contract that has been on the table since May/June. It's worth £100,000 a week. Not
There's a K a week, bro.
okay. We got to give him the humble wages, and then he works his way up just like Reece James did and proves himself. So 100K a week, I think, is a very, very respectable wage. Pochettino says he expects Colwill to begin the season as a starter in Chelsea's defense, but warns that he will have to earn the right to stay there because we both know, all of us know, Benoit Badiashile is right around the corner, and you never know with Axel Disasi either. We continue on.
Disasi, I don't know if Disasi can play LCB. I don't know about that one. You
we'll
have to swim in that one still.
We'll
yeah,
see.
You're gonna have to let me know.
Levi Colwill says goodbye to Brighton. Here he has his post to Brighton Hove Albion. I am proud to have played a small part of the club's success last season. You gave me an opportunity to play in the Premier League when no one else did. I thank Graham Potter for first bringing me to the club and to all the employees at the stadium, training ground, for making it a great place to perform and develop. To the fans, you've always had my back since I got onto your side. Your contagious support made me feel comfortable to play the way I wanted to play and not fear about making mistakes. You gave me a platform to shine and show my ability in the best league of the world. I will never forget that you supported me. Lastly, Roberto De Zerbi, you challenged me every day. You made me think and see football in a different way. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you again, Levi Colwill.
Can I just say quickly, yeah? There seems to be like, I don't know what's going on in the chat here, but apparently, like, you got Sheikh Aaron Ten Hag that's causing like crazy stuff. Talking about United, man. United players. What's going on, man?
Let them cook and then let the chat cook them.
Yeah, man.
And then we have Levi Colwill here saying, I never thought I could become what I have today. Through all the hard work, there is no better feeling, so it has always been an easy decision. I have grown up, and all I've known is Chelsea. And I believe, no, we got more tweets here. Okay, hold on. Let me get through this. Oh, no, never mind. That is everything I have on Colwill. So, yeah. We're moving on to Colwill. Let's talk about Colwill.
Before we talk about Colwill, can I just address JK's comment? Yeah,
go for it, man.
Please. It's not even like I'm not actually trying to even have the beef with him. I'm actually trying to discuss it with him because, like, listen, Jake, you can pay it up because he's not saying anything disrespectful. He said, "Oh, come on, don't act oblivious, saying you don't want Sanchez." Yeah, I don't want Sanchez though. For me, in my opinion, he's a
my light turned off.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fine. He's just a minimal upgrade for me to Kepa. I would prefer obviously a top keeper to bring in, or someone that is a much more of a better shot stopper than he is. That's the opinion that I came with. That's because I don't want someone. Doesn't mean I don't believe they're going to do well at the football club. And then the second point on saying Adam isn't good enough for the club. Yes, I do not think Tyler Adam should be starting for Chelsea Football Club. I don't think that's a hot take. Maybe as depth, I don't mind, but not as a starter. I'm pretty sure if you talk to anyone around here, they would say the same thing as I'm saying.
We all said the same thing.
So,
but let's get back to Colwill. I'm happy. 6-year contract, good for him. I think he's going to be a good prospect, a good defender for years to come.
Quickly, Marshall, but I have a funny story. So I was
go to town.
It was I think it was never a foul. Shout out to them, yeah. And they were cooking they were cooking or grilling, I should say, the Chelsea fan, saying, how can you pay 100K a week to Levi Colwill? And it's for 6 years. And I was like, this and like he made the point that he was making the point that he's probably going to be one of the best up and coming prospects LCBs in the league. He probably will be starting Euro 2024 as you're starting LCB if the rumors are to be true, and if he gets enough game time as well, right? So listen, I kind of thought that was kind of crazy. I don't know what you guys think, like, because I don't think 100K a week these days is a bad thing. Like, you know, I know that Serie A, La Liga, I know they haven't got their money up or something like that, but this is like the going rate lately. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a very respectable.
Buddy shows probably on low wages. You know, that makes it even more crazy. The fact that we've got two, like, I think Gene said it best. Yeah, like we've got two starting LCBs in Badiashile and Colwill. Badiashile probably on lower wages, and it's also just as good as he is. So shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to them.
Yeah, I think this is a very good deal. And you know what? I'll also say this. kudos to Colwill for accepting that. Like he could have probably dug his heels in, said, "Hey, I want more wage. I can go to a club that's gonna give me more in wages as well." Like he could have done that, but he didn't, and I have to respect that. It's good that he's accepting 100 because 100 this day and age, like 100 for a player of that's such a high profile, so spoken about, seems like really, really low. It seems pretty low. But no, he accepted it, and I think now we have a player on our hands that's under respectable wages. I'm sure down the line, as he proves himself and he becomes a more solidified starter for Chelsea, he's probably going to be offered a contract that offers him more in wages. So I think it's a very smart move and a brilliant signing for the club. Oliver, do you want to add anything to that, or has everything been said pretty much?
I just personally feel pretty vindicated because, when everyone was freaking everyone was freaking out about certain social media reports and certain activities from Colwill. I was just here saying, we'll wait and see what the result is from his conversations with Poch, and that will tell you everything you need to know about Levi Colwill. And guess what? He came on the preseason tour and he signed the contract. So, I'm not jumping for joy because I was ready for this to be a possibility. I'm not too surprised by it. So, but I am very happy nonetheless. I just feel pretty vindicated on not being one of those people that are overreacting on social media to certain reports and behaviors.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll admit, I wasn't the biggest fan of the things that were being said.
Is that so, buddy?
Guaranteed. Hey, I'm taking.
I've got you in the same thing.
By the way, Marshall, I'm not talking about you talking about assurances. I'm talking I'm talking about more about people that are people that were looking at his oh, he's still got Brighton on his Instagram. He wants to go back to Brighton, that kind of thing.
Or the Madueke thing. Oh, look, he's switching Madueke away when he's talking about Chelsea.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Hey.
But like I said in the beginning, I keep it consistent. I wasn't a fan of this guaranteed play time or guaranteed minutes discussion that was coming out, the impression that was coming out of his camp. I know a lot of us here said it was guaranteed minutes, not necessarily guaranteed starting and stuff. But I was willing to let this kid come into the team and prove himself. And I was confident he was going to prove himself. It's going to be tough to battle between him and Badiashile, and I look forward to that battle. I look forward to see how they compete and how they motivate and push each other to be better. But I'm happy that he signed the contract. I'm happy that he signed it in low wages. I'm happy it's a 6-year deal. Now I don't question his commitment to Chelsea. I really don't. Before I was scared, thinking he might go to Brighton. He's not talking about Chelsea. He wants to avoid. So it is what it is.
Kai's hitting the ICT with us already, man. Damn. Why hitting the ICT with us, guys?
Yeah, it's good. It's good that he's signed the contract. It's a long contract. Again, I think these long contracts for these players that seem to be very promising have been good contracts. I can't really think off the top of my head one player that I'm upset that they got a long-term contract.
I saw a comment in the
Mudryk might be up in the air.
I saw a comment or people comparing I think Colwill and Saliba. What are your thoughts? Who do you think is better right now? I honestly think right now, obviously, it probably will be Saliba because he's shown the most and he's had the more time in the Premier League and League One. But obviously, he has a chance to obviously go out and Levi always has a chance this season to show he's at that level too this season. So
I think it's quite a comparable arc, to be honest, because there were people asking last season when Tuchel was still here. They were asking for Tuchel to include Colwill in the squad. Just like you had in previous seasons before Saliba joined Arsenal back up from loan, where you had certain Arsenal fans that were of the opinion that Saliba should be starting for them earlier than he actually has. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a similar arc.
I remember, yeah.
Because they've both gone out and away from their parent clubs. They've both gone out and got their game time, and now we're seeing that they're good enough players in the Premier League. So it's pretty comparable. I would agree, though, that Saliba would currently have to edge it just based on his superior experience just across all leagues. He's got more of a senior career than Colwill. Colwill's only been a senior professional for 2 seasons. You've got to remember that.
Yep.
True. Honestly, I can't really comment because I don't know. I haven't really watched much of Saliba's game.
Jesus.
I heard great things about him this season from a bunch of Arsenal fans rating him so highly. He had a good season last season. I know that.
Saliba, the thing with Saliba though, he had a top season at Marseille, and even before he went on loan to Marseille, a lot of Arsenal fans wanted to keep him anyway. So remind you, but at Marseille, bro, he was flourishing, man. I'll be real, and obviously he's done really well this last season. We'll see if he keeps that up. You know, what I'm saying we'll see if he keeps that at the end of the day. And,
Didn't he get into the League One Team of the Year or something?
Yeah, that was the season that he got into it. Last season was the season he got into it. When he was at the last season at Marseille, he got into it. So listen, at the end of the day, man, we'll see if he's if Levi Cole was good enough. Listen, he's got the ability, he's got everything to do. So big up my boy Jez. You know what I'm saying? Hope you do well. And so listen, we'll see if he's got the minerals, as they say, to do the job that he needs to do.
Let's have it right, fucking
man.
minerals, bro.
I don't know if you're gonna talk about another defender that just got brought recently in Axel Disasi of RCB that got confirmed.
We had him last time. He's been officially announced now, but yeah, we talked about him last time.
So, fair enough, yeah. Listen, man, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I know Thiago Silva's probably going to be starting this Sunday, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think slowly over time we're going to phase him out, and Disasi will be the starter maybe next season. Who knows? We'll see if Thiago Silva's game does come down. But let's go ahead and... Well, there's a little bit of progress being made on this, but you know, we gotta talk about this guy, okay? So we got a striker dilemma. Let's talk about our little striker dilemma. A little bit of an update going on with this. Not much, but it's something. So Juve have a new idea to present to Chelsea. If Lukaku does well with Juventus, they will pay 50 million euros to Chelsea, and then Chelsea will pay 80 million for Vlahovic. So we'd pay more. Do we pay more for Vlahovic, but we get more for Lukaku, so it evens out? Isn't that what I'm understanding here?
So they're probably going to add they're probably going to add incentivized add-ons where he's going to basically be able to reach those add-ons quite quickly, so that Chelsea will basically be able to get some money back as quickly as possible.
I'd imagine like it's either incentivized add-ons or it might be. It could maybe even be an incentivized obligation to buy. Like the whole obligation is based on. Does he hit a certain goal or appearance tally or both? I mean, we had that with Bakayoko where we had that's why Milan stopped playing Bakayoko. It's because he had an appearance based obligation to buy, so they just stopped playing him at all. Plus, he wasn't good enough.
Let me go on to the next tweet related to this as well. There is still a 25 to 30 million euro difference in valuation between Chelsea and Juve for Dusan Vlahovic, but the fact that the negotiations have not broken down indicates that both clubs are still willing to find a solution. And I think there's a lot of reason to. I think Ahmed, you said it before. This is most likely going to happen, and I think this is a big indicator.
The man them know my thoughts on Vlahovic. I'm not too much of a big fan of his past year, but I think the reality of the situation is because Lukaku doesn't want to go Saudi, and there's no other else in Europe that's really looking at him, barring what Juventus, the club basically hands are going to be forced. Even if we know that Poch may not be fully convinced of Vlahovic, the club's hands are going to be forced essentially, and they're going to have to basically find a deal to get Lukaku there and then bring in Vlahovic. And the thing about it is also, and you know, I actually want to ask you guys a question.
Over.
I don't know yet. I have no idea, but I was talking about this in the video. I don't know if Poch trusts Vlahovic yet. Maybe he's because Broha. So Poch doesn't. I don't know if Poch's thoughts on Broha. Yeah, because obviously we know he's coming back from an ACL injury, and what's it called? I'm not a fan of Havertz. Hey, yo, calma. I was a fan of Havertz in 20 when he came to the football club. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing with Havertz. You know what I'm saying? The guy that's the Havertz fan. What's it? Fatih is Marshall, the guy on top of me. He's the Havertz fan, and I'm saying Kalma. But with Vlahovic, going back to, see, look, he even hid. He's hid. That's what I'm telling you, bro. He's hiding. But going back to it, yeah. What are your thoughts? Because I'm not sure what's going on with Broha, because I know obviously he's come back from an ACL injury. He didn't go onto the tour. There's now rumors about West Ham trying to come in for him again. Like, is the club not? Does Broha not trust? Is the club not unsure on Broha? Is Poch unsure on Broha? What's going on there? Because I'm a bit confused myself.
I want you to hold on to that question. I will answer your question. let's finish this
Kai,
next tweet
Kai,
as well.
I'm a fan, yeah. You know, I'm a fan of your mum.
So, Chelsea, West Ham, Fulham, Frankfurt are interested in Ali Wahi. Chelsea made first offer for 30 million euros, including bonuses, but Montpellier want around 40 million euros for Ali Wahi, another player we're linked to in the striker position. This is the player that would probably be going back to the French league to play for Strasbourg as well, which I don't think he wants. But yeah, the striker situation is looking weird. I don't know if we're gonna get Ali Wahi, to be honest.
We're not gonna get Wahi anymore because of the. I don't know if you're speaking about the Washington news. You're gonna continue on.
Yeah, we will. That's later on in the show. Yeah.
Yeah, but essentially, from what I'm hearing from people are saying, Washington, Wahi was meant to go to Strasbourg, but because like he's now worth 40 million and you've now got to a battle between Frankfurt, them lot, right? So therefore, it's not gonna happen, and then. That's why the club have gone for Denzel Washington to go to over there alongside his boy alongside his boy Angel Gabriel. The Angel Gabriel and Washington were playing with each other. Gabriel Washington were playing with each other. You get me? So that's why. So that's what I'm saying to you. Obviously, the question I asked you is the main question. Obviously, you and Oliver can ask.
Hold on. You hold on to that question. Hold on. I promise you, we're gonna get to it.
Is that a good? It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a good question, and we're going to talk about not only him but a lot of other players as well. But let's I'll we'll see what's going to happen with the. I'll look at it in a minute. We'll see what's going to happen with the situation with Lukaku. I think in order for us to get rid of Lukaku, we really must get this Vlahovic deal done. And I just, like I said earlier, I think there is more of a ceiling with Vlahovic. I think there's a better player in Vlahovic as well. The injuries is an issue, and we'll see what Poch says about it. But let's go on to the next topic that I wanted to discuss, which is who is staying and who is leaving Chelsea Football Club this season, including loans and all that stuff. So the first tweet I have to show you guys is this one right here. Okay. Regardless of shared ownership rules, only 3 loans are allowed between clubs. Chelsea still plan to sign striker Ali Wahi from Montpellier with Strasbourg in mind, and so they will need to find different temporary or permanent homes for a number of players they are stockpiling. And let's start off with Broja. Okay. Chelsea are not overly settled on striker position. Armando Broja could leave on a loan. I think with Broja, this is what I want to believe. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not on the pitch, and I'm not the one to say. But I think with Broja, it genuinely is a matter of, listen, bro, you haven't played football in almost a year. It's been 8, 9 months. I want to say.
I'd say 9. Yeah, it was December he got injured.
January, February, March, April, May, June.
Been a long time.
Since June, he's been basically training, so we can say last 6 months has not been playing football. Yeah.
So I don't think he's anywhere near match fit. I don't think maybe during the fitness part of Poch's, the beginning of Poch's reign, maybe he failed some of those fitness tests because he's not fully fit, not fully there. Yeah, he could train, but he stayed because the knee is still an issue. So I think he does need to go on loan. I don't think it's Poch doesn't rate him. I think Poch just understands he's not ready. And whether it's Chelsea that he's going to be ready, I don't think that's the right move. I think a good move for him is he needs to be a starter. He needs to get play time. He needs to get match fit and sharp again. Because when he came in and played as Chelsea, I was impressed by him. And his speed was the biggest factor. So I think Poch does like the kid. I just think he agrees that he needs.
Though. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I like that explosiveness. It reminds me of Jackson. Jackson is explosive in that sense, but I think he needs a loan. He does need a loan to recover from that knee injury. That's my thoughts. That
it would be better for him to recover at the football club. That's why I thought. For me, the school of thought that I would have gone with is keep him at the club as the backup. You let him obviously heal with time. You still got Nkunku there, but obviously Nkunku's out now. But the ideal situation would have been having Nkunku still there just in case you need him to be the backup to Jackson while he's fully healing about, and then you give him those limited minutes to come back and recuperate.
I just think that in order for Broja to be at his best, he needs to be playing consistently and to be match fit. In order for him to be match fit and match sharp, he needs to play consistently. I think coming off the bench to ease him into it. Slow. It's just going to take too long.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it because, like, I don't. You guys probably remember, obviously he got injured in December, but before that he was, in effect, Broja was our bench striker, and I wouldn't necessarily say that at that time he looked like he was up to par. He scored a nice goal against Wolves, but other than that, it was just a lot of like pressing really and sprinting. There wasn't really much end product at the end of it. He still looks like a very raw player. So to have missed the amount of football that he has, plus coming back from a major cruciate ligament injury it's not only a physical recovery but a mental recovery. I don't think he's anywhere near ready to contribute yet, even as a backup.
Leave Andrew alone, man. He's doing the best he can.
What did he say? What did he say?
He could read that, but we'll see what happens with that, Broja. I have a feeling Broja will come back. But to be honest, though, I did say this as well with Broja. Even if Broja doesn't end up working out at Chelsea, I'm confident that our striker situation is looking a lot better because another player and EE just mentioned it, Dacho Fofana. He could cook as well. I was impressed with what I saw of him.
Man, I swear to God, man, Potter and Lampard have got blood on their hands, bro. The way that guy is looking right now in preseason, they got real blood on their hands, man. You know what I mean? If I catch you, Potter,
Broja has competition when he comes back. When he's fit, Broja has competition with Fofana, and I think it's going to be either one or the other. I don't think both are going to stay at the club.
But do we know that we plan to keep that? Do we know that we plan to keep that Fofana if he has a good loan at Union Berlin? Because we obviously saw with Arsenal. With Arsenal, they had Balogun out in France, and he had a great season. He's not factored into their plans.
No, not that Fofana. The other Fofana, the striker one.
No, Datcher.
Yeah, you think about Wesley, not Wesley. Gingerbread Man.
Oh no, Kai.
No. The thing is, Oliver. I think you can make the same argument of Matson. Like, I don't think the club expected Matson to have a good season at Burnley and explode to where he was, because he's had two previous loans, Matson, that not many people know about. But now he's exploded at Burnley. He's looking amazing. He's continuing on this form and development right now under Poch in pre-season. So you never know. Maybe the club might have that in mind. Where Datcher now, he goes to Union Berlin. He's playing UCL football, high-level football in the Bundesliga. Bags a bunch of goals, does really well, has a good season. And then the club's in the dilemma of, yes, you've got Nicholas Jackson, but now you've also got Datcher Fofana. Now another good option, scoring a lot of goals. And if Datcher Fofana doesn't bank, you've got this guy as well.
Don't forget to mention that depending on what happens with the Lukaku situation, you could potentially have a Vlahovic in that mix as well.
And plus, around by the end of the day, even with Vlahovic, you're probably going to have to spend, 25-30 million, as you guys are saying, right? We probably could flip him for a good 40-50 million with the way he sells stuff. So if he's not good enough, right? If he's not good enough at the end of the day, then.
But let's go on to the next player on this list. Lewis Hall is expected to leave on loan this summer, with Chelsea also open to offer for Marc Cucurella.
1 second. Is Jackson stealing? What the hell? Jackson stealing.
He's calling Sterling stealing. But yeah, Lewis Hall to go to on loan. Hold on. There's the next tweet. Crystal Palace are closing in on Lewis Hall from Chelsea, and talks are in advance. It will be a loan. Hall is expected to extend the contract at Chelsea before leaving. I like this loan. I like this loan a lot for Lewis Hall.
He's probably going to be played in the centre mid position.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
As he should.
Yeah. We're going to see him, man. That's all I can say. Hopefully he does well, man.
Oliver?
I mean, I echo what you guys say, and also, Felix Johnson can hold that. Like, just stop. This guy tried to say that there was no plan for him to go on loan. Like, how many L's do you have to? How many L's do you have to collect as a fake ITK before you give up the game, man? Come on,
Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Lord,
I'm fighting words.
No, I just get annoyed at some of the things I hear, honestly.
Fucking, we have Oliver here dropping.
That was a crazy bomber. You know what I'm saying? You know what the Ecuadorian guy was going, the heavy crazy cup. That's what he was
It's Oliver right now. Camera's going crazy.
No, I just hear too many wrong reports, and then people consider some people as like credible sources. Like, is what it is.
June, I think he's going to be playing the CM position. Maybe they might do the thing of where he can play both CM, and whenever they need a left back to play in that position, they can obviously switch him there because of how malleable he is as a player. So that might be the case.
I did want to bring this up because it's been so back and forth with this, but now we finally got an idea what's up with Angelo Gabriel. So first, it was reported from Nathan Gissing. Gabriel is currently part of Pochettino's plans.
Here's another one.
Previously expected to leave on loan. This is Nathan Gissing reporting this earlier, and then we have Nathan Gissing also reporting Angelo Gabriel was expected to be loaned to RC Strasbourg following his transfer to Chelsea, but after impressing Mauricio Pochettino in preseason, could now stay and is viewed as part of Kerr's current plans. Now we have recent tweets. Angelo Gabriel and David Washington are both expected to join Strasbourg, according to Fabrizio Romano. And here we have L'Equipe also confirming it. Angelo will arrive in Strasbourg early next week for loan move. I'll be honest with you. At first, I was all for the loan, but now that we see how Sterling is moving in preseason, I kind of wish we just kind of kept him because I just don't know with Sterling, man. I'd rather have him on the left, on the right than Sterling.
Listen, man. Let's get this right. Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to him, he's a great player. He showed a lot of heart. He showed a lot of good things in preseason. But at the end of the day, he's still, I think, in my opinion, even though he showed a good thing, he could be the backup for us. But maybe, that his time will be better served at Strasbourg, learn his trade a bit more. He's only 19 years old at the end of the day as well. Maybe you want to give him a bit more time to, understand the French league or European football in general, acclimatize to it and do well. So, and plus, it's going to be under Patrick Vieira, someone that's, was helped to develop someone like an Olise and an Eze. So, it's not a bad thing, guys, if you're thinking about it like that as well. So.
Yeah, I'm just Sterling is not giving me confidence, man, and this kid is.
Bro, listen, man. You know what I mean? Inshallah, Saudi. You know what I'm saying? Inshallah, Saudi for him. And I'll be real, guys. Oh my God, the chat is being bad. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully, in my opinion, what we will see with Angelo, that he improves, he does well, and that's all you want to see from him, man. That's all you want to see from him. In regards to Sterling, man, I still have a theory that we're going to get 2 more attackers in. And if 2 attackers come in, guess what happens? Sterling to Al Ahly. I'm here. ITK on right now.
Dropping the facts, the bombs, breaking news, Sterling to Al Ahly. It's not going to happen. I don't know.
If that happens, bro, you owe me a beer, bro. You owe me a beer.
Sure. Actually, now that I think about it too, if Olise were to come in, because we don't have Olise yet. If Olise were to come in and Angelo goes to Strasbourg, I feel better. But right now, we don't have Olise yet. He's already going to Strasbourg. Angelo is. So we'll see. Let's
knows, man.
Let's go to another player here. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, the wrong thing. Sorry. Next player. André Santos set to stay at Chelsea, while Cesare Caicedo will be available to depart on loan. André Santos set to stay to Chelsea, according to Nathan Gissing, which may be reliable, maybe not. But it looks like he's
ironically, he actually has to be reliable because he works in the market. If he's not reliable, then we are cooked. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he said Angelo's going to stay, and then that proved to be wrong.
Man.
Yeah, hey, people get wrong. See, people get things wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Even Fabrizio was wrong at one point. Not really.
He
just preemptively announced Vardiol when he wasn't supposed to, and it didn't, and it held up the transfer. But at the end of the day, he ended up being right. So, André Santos to stay. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, top player. Let's not get that twisted.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. So, listen, man. I think with him, he's gonna get game time. That's the thing. With him, he will be getting a lot of game time.
Big up, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Go ahead, Oliver, bro.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with this. Santos has been impressive. I'm happy for him to stay and play that, that backup to whoever the DM's going to be. Caicedo, he looked very good in the beginning. I think he kind of petered out a little bit. I don't know. He started looking a bit more clumsy. as the games went on. You see the inexperience there as time went on. You don't you can't get fooled by just 1 or 2 games. So I think it's the right move. He had a good loan at Reading, so whatever the next step is, let's just hope it's been well planned out and that he does well there.
I agree. Ahmed, cook while I get the next tweet.
1 second, man. I need to change my earphones quickly.
What? All right, don't cook. Never mind. I'm getting the next tweet. So, continuing on with Cassidy.
All right, so
understand. Leicester City. Hold on. Go ahead. Before I read the tweet.
Okay, so listen, man. Tikai, who my pre-favorite player is currently. I've always been a Jackson fan. Even before, he came to the club, I was like, when I heard the rumors, I was like, this guy's good. We should bring him in. So Jackson's one of them. But I've always been a big fan of anyway, in general, in my opinion. He's a third player. Honestly, for me, third player wise, Enzo, the other guy. Those are my 3 favorites, in my opinion.
Cool. All right. Moving on to Cassidy. Understand, Leicester City are insisting to sign Cesare Cassidy on loan. New request has been made as Italian coach Enzo Maresca wants Cesare. Chelsea original plan was always been for Premier League loan, which I 100% agree with that. We'll get to that topic soon. Maresca can be key factor in this deal. No final decision. And I don't know the reliability of this.
No, because even Fabrizio said it was like oh my god, this brother. But seriously, no, Fabrizio said it was really advanced though. He said it was actually advanced for Cassidy.
I think I had I thought I had the tweet. I saw the Fabrizio tweet, but no, let's discuss the Cassidy one. Listen, I'm not obviously I think this player should go on loan. I think if he does go on loan, it has to be to a team that's going to start him, and that is going to be the Leicester City one, where he's going to guaranteed to start. My issue with the Leicester City loan is that I just don't listen. He was already in the championship last season with Reading. I just think that he's shown that he's good enough for that one. And I think he's ready for a Premier League loan so that he can be challenged by the better teams. I'm not saying a relegation team. I think a West Ham could probably use a player like Cassidy. I think Brentford could use a player like Cassidy. I wouldn't even mind if we get Olise that he goes over to Crystal Palace, even though we just sent Lewis Hall there. So I think being challenged or even staying at Chelsea and getting minutes off the bench would be more beneficial than going back to Leicester City, going back to Championship, and potentially being like one of the best players in that league already. Like, I just don't think he's going to be very challenged. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Oh my! I'm so sorry to saw something. Just quickly though, Oliver's number 1 ITK Felix is got a nice little thing on Twitter. He says, I've been quiet all day on Caicedo because I was told off at 3 p.m. that I've been waiting for triple confirmation on the whole day, but it's been suggested by others now. So I will say not in full reporting style. Caicedo has spoken directly with Brighton. His absence was not a coincidence, and a bid is coming soon. Not claiming this to be something huge exclusive. Not claiming this to be some huge exclusive. Just very excited.
Yeah, we saw a tweet earlier that was basically saying that
bid is coming.
The Fabrizio tweet said that he's out and the message is from him that he wants to leave. So it kind of implied that it was the 2 events were related.
Kind of forcing the move now, which is what we wanted him to do. But good. Hopefully something gets done tomorrow. We won't do an emergency stream. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. But
I'll be available for the emergency stream, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be available.
There you go.
Instead.
You guys can go check out
the real minerals is gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to follow.
Fucking minerals, bro.
Speak about Cassidy Minerals though. What do you think about that loan? Because I look, it's a good loan, sure, but I think a Premier League loan would have been better.
You and I. Bring back celery. Hey man, don't worry, Doom. I'll be bringing out celery. I can't sing the song actually. YouTube is actually not saying what. But on a serious note, you and I, we've had our disagreements on like the Leicester loan. I've always maintained like that, in my opinion, that going to Leicester isn't a bad thing because similarly to Maatsen, you're gonna have the experience of upper level championship games where you're gonna be fighting for the title or going for second place, and that has produced guys like Maatsen for you. It's also produced guys like there's another game name I'm mistaken.
Reese.
Reese was at Wigan. They weren't actually in a championship race. Levi Cole was another one actually, because Levi Cole was actually in the race with Huddersfield, and they obviously
Levi Cole did one loan there, and then he went to Brighton in the Premier League. And look how it helped him out.
Yeah, but remember the difference with Caicedo. Caicedo was already there for 6 months. Remember, he was just at Wigan for 6 months because we brought him in January.
Okay.
And then we brought him out in the summer, and then we sent him out in January. So we only sent him for 6 months. Going to Leicester, which is a top side that's already got near Premier League players. You're going to be trying to win the league there anyway, or go and come for second place. Good style of play. At the end of the day, bro, that's a good thing for him. At the end of the day, he's going to be getting that experience. That's what you want. I understand.
Oliver.
You know what, Marshall? I'll add this to you. I actually agree on some level that, of course, him being at Crystal Palace or another team would have helped him out because he would have gotten that Premier League experience facing real teams, United. That I get that, but the reality of the situation is, though, I don't know if Premier League clubs are going to go for him at this stage in development. You're probably looking at going to Leicester and then going to another Premier League club afterwards if he does really well at Leicester, in my opinion. Similarly to almost what happened to Levi Cole, where you go to Leicester, then you go to somewhere like that. Or if you do really well at Leicester and you improve in development, then you don't need to do like Maatsen.
You said it perfectly, and that's exactly what it's going to be 2 options. Either he goes to Leicester and then he comes back and he goes to another Premier League loan, or we skip that whole process. We go straight to a Premier League loan, and then next season he's ready for us. That's where I'm like, okay, I'd rather just skip the step because this player is already making us question whether or not we should keep him or not. Like I'm inclined to say he should go out on the loan and develop and refine his play because, like Oliver said, he's a little sloppy in some areas. Definitely needs a little bit of more polishing. But I just you get it. You literally said my point verbatim. So like it's just I feel like if he goes to Leicester, it's going to be almost a walk in the park with him. He's going to be surrounded by a really good team as well. And he's going to
the same thing happened with Maatsen at Burnley. The same thing with Maatsen at Burnley. They brought in a lot of good top tier talents under Vincent Kompany as well. And they had a walk in the park essentially. But the thing was, Maatsen was literally like one of the best attackers, producing the most for them as well. So guess what, bro? And so guess what? The similar thing can happen to Caicedo, where that happens, and he doesn't even need a Premier League loan. He can slot into the team. Yeah,
Oliver, what are your thoughts on this? I think you're in agreement with both, but you're inclined to do the Leicester loan. I think I could be wrong.
I'm definitely more inclined to it, and I don't really buy into this argument that potentially he could become a bit complacent or the development could stagnate a little bit because he's at an unchallenged level in terms of like what team he's at, and that I don't mind it. I mean, the key thing for me is going to be the availability of the options to go out on loan. Like, who's actually in for him? Like, is a Brentford realistically going to come in for him? Because you've got to think a lot of these clubs are going to be looking like clubs like Brentford. They're selling clubs. They're only going to want to get the player if they think they can somehow pick him up on the cheap, whether that be with an option or an obligation to buy, and then sell him on for loads of money later. So these clubs aren't your friend. You give the player to them, but they've got their own little malicious kind of intentions behind that. They don't want to just give them back to you and be like, oh, there you go, here's your favour. No, it's a bit deeper than that. So I think with Premier League clubs, they want to become more self-sufficient. So I think Championship's just more realistic. You're gonna have more clubs that are willing to do a loan, just a straight loan without an option or an obligation.
Okay.
Listen, man. Maybe why is he not at Strasbourg? Never know. No, I'm just kidding.
But I think we're running
3 players though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Plus, I think maybe with him, he just needs. I think they're trying to get him PO experience because he's. I think he has already experience from abroad. But can I do a little quick promo if you don't mind, if that's okay?
Go for it, real quick.
I'm literally only 2 away from 385 subscribers. It would be much appreciated if only 2 of you, two of you, come and subscribe to my channel. That's all I'm going to ask for. You know what I'm saying? So it would be much appreciated. I'll put the link.
Link is in the comments and in the description below. Let's go ahead and the next player, Ian Maatsen. Mauricio Pochettino has told Ian Maatson he wants to keep him at Chelsea as contract renewal talks begin. That's coming from Nazar Cancella. Oh, and yeah, that's it actually. We'll talk
before you talk about Maatson, I think you should talk about Cucurella and Maatson together because I think both of them are connected in my opinion.
You tell me then.
Okay. So obviously, I don't know if you've heard the reports, but apparently Cucurella, according to Felix Johnson and like from what we've seen from others, hasn't impressed a lot in preseason. And to be honest, you couldn't really disagree with him in my opinion. And they're looking to sell him. Obviously, 30 to 35 million is the going price for Cucurella. But the reality of the situation is that it's probably going to be. The reality of the situation is that he's probably going to go out on loan, in my opinion, with an option to buy. Considering
Cucurella?
I think probably that's what's going to happen to him, bro. Because I don't see how you can get 30 million for Cucurella right now. Can you see a way of getting 30 million for Cucurella right now? Honestly, I'm being honest with you. That's what I'm trying to say.
I can see teams paying that. I genuinely can because again, he's not a bad player, but I just think maybe the system isn't going to suit him. I think he's better as a left wing back when he was playing the back three with Potter. There's a good player in there. It's just the errors have been frustrating.
It just comes back to like the way he's been playing at Chelsea. Sadly, he's not at Chelsea level. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, don't get me wrong.
But the thing is, like, okay, hold on. Let's backtrack a little bit.
No. When I say he's not at Chelsea level, I'm saying the way he's currently playing.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, let me backtrack a little bit. It's not necessarily that Cucurella's been bad. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been playing really well in the preseason, barring key errors that have cost us goals. That's the issue. He had that key error that he overran the one Newcastle player and lost us the clean sheet and basically lost us the win on that one. So we ended up drawing because of that one goal. And then the same error or a similar error. What game was it? Oh my God. Where he tackles. It was
BVB
Dortmund, where he tackled and the tackle just ended up nearly costing us a goal. So, like, there are errors in this game that, like, it's
okay. Can I ask you a question,
the
Marshall?
one blunder that cost us the game.
So, I'll ask you this question, Marshall. Do you believe that you can remove those Bozen moments out of him? That's the first question I would ask. And then the second question is, obviously you haven't seen Maatson play that fullback position.
That's the other thing,
yeah, which is obviously the worry, right? But I'll ask you that question first. Do you believe that Cucurella's those Bozen moments that he has, can you remove that off of him?
I think in time it can be. I think Cucurella is a really good player. I just think he's had very unlucky Bozen moments.
Do you know what it is? I think there's a player in there. Whether or not you can bring that out at Chelsea is another question, right?
You know what? And I will preface this, by the way, too, Ahmed, before you go on. If the right bid does come for him, I 100% am willing to sell him. By the way, I should. I'm not trying to keep him, but I don't think I'm trying to go out of my way to get rid of him either.
I just think for me, when it comes down to Cucurella, I don't know if you're gonna get the price that you're wishing for anyway. The second question that you've got to ask yourself is the club willing to take out a loan? Because I think for me the best case scenario for Cucurella now is a loan if you want to try to really move him on, in my opinion. And so the question for me is, who do you have as your backup? Chilwell's going to be there, who, if we're being honest, very good going forward, quite suspect at the back right now. Obviously your backup would then have to be Maatson there, and we haven't seen him there all preseason, so it's going to be interesting to see as well. So
this is a good point. They both have something to prove. Not even just Cucurella. Chilwell has been.
Chilwell, of course, has the luxury. He's had back-to-back major injuries, so he has to prove that he's competent and good enough. You know what I'm saying?
He has to prove that he can stay fit, and he has to prove that he can also be better defensively. Because that's the thing, they're like yin and yang. You get the defensive qualities, Cucurella, but not the attacking. And you get the attacking qualities of Chilwell, but he lacks in the defense. It's really weird. And I want to see Maatson in a left back, because if Maatson can be the best of both worlds, then that
From
settles
what,
that, you know.
from what I've heard, he doesn't like like the body type that what's it called, but that is quite short. He's obviously he's not like as like tall, well built. That's sort of the fullback that apparently Pochettino likes, according to what some of my mates at Tottenham have told me. So that's probably why he's
Maybe
playing
got a frogs.
Yeah.
Oliver, what about you, man?
I mean, yeah, with Cucurella, like, I think he's just a system player at the end of the day. Like, because you didn't see these bozo moments at Brighton, and he played in a back three at Brighton where he was either a wing back where we had very little defensive responsibilities, or he played at left centre back where he's covered pretty much and he could press out like the way he does. I mean, I don't really know with him because there is a player in there, but he is 25. Should be turning 26 soon. So I don't really.
Maybe what also add, Oliver. You can take this. You can also add on to this. When we're attacking, we turn into a back three, so it kind of suits Cucurella in a sense as well. I don't know if you want to include that.
No, it does suit him, but then if he's going to rush out the way he did against Newcastle, then there's no point. It's that balancing act. Like, I think there is a way to include him in there. He just has to cut these moments out and really start showing us something. But like, the confusing thing about preseason is that these reports are apparently saying that Poch wasn't impressed with him. So why did he either start or appear in every single game? Why wasn't Maatsen given an opportunity in that position?
I think the obvious argument you can make to that, Oliver, if I would say so, is that remember under Roman and where they were basically forced when they forced Tuchel to basically play Michy Batshuayi, these what's the other guy, the Brazilian kid that we used to have, not Brazilian kid,
Kennedy.
Kennedy, those guys, like the club would be forced to play them in order for them to like be showing out and like try to attract interest from other clubs essentially. So maybe that's the reason why they were trying to play Cucurella. But obviously,
But no, do you really think that was forced though? Because Tuchel last preseason, that was Bowley, and Tuchel picked Batshuayi and Kennedy and Ross Barkley and all them guys.
Oh no! I was talking about the season before. Oh no! The reason why he was playing Batshuayi and them lot, was because he was being a dickhead in it. So you never know, man.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of there's not enough of a sample size with. I mean, with Bowley, like we saw it this season. With the Bowley regime, they've clearly separated the bad apples from the good apples, the people that want to leave from the people that want to stay. So, yeah, but like, I don't really know about this shop window thing because I think that just spits in the face of everything that we wanted our preseason to be about. We wanted it to be about getting players fit and all that. And at the end of the day, if you're going to keep throwing Cucurella out there like we had been, and he just looks worse and worse and worse every single time, like what good is a shop window doing when you're just like falling apart in front of everyone? Your value's going to drop. It's not going to get higher. It's like when we persisted at times with Kepa under Lampard. It's like, or when people were thinking that like, oh, we're going to play Kepa to raise his market value, or Tuchel was doing that. It's like when he makes mistakes, no, his market value is going to go down. Just because he's playing doesn't mean he's got value. So I don't know.
I just disagree with this notion that he's looked worse and worse and worse in each game. I think he has.
I just don't think there's been enough of it. I just don't think there's been enough of an improvement to really make a club go, oh, maybe him.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
I mean, he's not a Charizard, you know what I'm saying? He's not like a starter. It's not a starter Pokemon. No one's using him. That's what he's the dark type Pokemon that no one likes. That's all he is, man. He's not even a dark type. He's the grass type Pokemon. No one likes a grass type Pokemon. I mean, he's a grass type, literally.
I mean, like I said, I think it's really down to he needs a system that suits him, and Brighton had that under Potter. Does that system exist elsewhere where he can just slot right in and do his thing and become a really good player again? Because, he was a good player at Brighton. There's no, we didn't just throw 60 million on him for no reason and to impress Tony Bloom or whatever. He was a good player there. So does that system exist? Because, he's got to look at it. He's got to look at it from his end as well. He's got to enjoy the way he plays. He's got to be able to, do his best. He's got to look out for himself from a tactical point of view. He must surely know the best way to use himself. So if you can't find that, then it's just going to be difficult, really.
Fair enough. And I should add this as well on Ian Matson. He is actually being offered another contract extension or something like that. I don't know if that was mentioned in the tweet.
1+1. Yeah.
A 1+1. That's good.
That's what he has.
Yeah. So he was supposed to be on sale. And at the beginning of the season, he was on sale. But now he's changed the minds of the staff, and good for him. He's staying at the club, and I love to see it. Like, he's definitely proven me wrong. I didn't expect that.
I don't think anyone met our asking price either, so that's another thing to consider.
25 million was what we were asking for.
I thought it was 30.
I think Burnley bid 15, and that's that's ridiculous. So
yeah, but there's another player that we haven't mentioned in a very long time because of his links with the certain country he's from. So let's go ahead and bring him up. He's come back. He's resurfaced. This is awesome. Exciting stuff here. All right, let's talk about Felix Johnson saying Todd loophole Bowley strikes again. Zakharyan reportedly in advanced talks to join Strasbourg. I understand Chelsea will still retain interest in Arsen Zakharyan. The whole situation is that Chelsea still cannot move for him until he moves away from Russia due to the UK sanctions against Russia. I'm glad to hear that there's a workaround for this one. I've heard about this player. Alex has spoken about this player. I think I've seen a little bit of him. Very talented kid, attacking midfielder as well. That's awesome that we have a loophole. It kind of stinks that there's a sanction on it, but anyone have any comments on this?
I don't really know that much about him, even though we were set to buy him apparently last year too. So like, I did some research on him, bro. Genuinely.
Yeah, I need to do more research on him too, but yeah, like a lot of people really speaking very highly of him. I think he was also linked to Inter when we were first linked to him as well, and that didn't pan out. So, hey, if we can get this guy on Strasbourg's going to be cooking, man. Strasbourg's going to be cooking. So, and then if he cooks at Strasbourg, maybe we consider him for Chelsea. We'll see, but it's a good workaround. I'm happy we figured that out. But on to the next player that we also acquired, and that's another Brazilian. Yes, ladies and gents, we've acquired another Brazilian talent. Let's discuss him. Oh, I forgot to mention this too. Chelsea partner club Strasbourg have appointed super agent Rafaela Pimenta to win the race for Russian star Arsen Zakharyan. The attacking midfield was close to joining Lazio, but it's increasingly attracted to Chelsea. Multi-club project is coming from Nazar Cancela. Forgot to mention that tweet. Sorry, guys. So let's go ahead now discuss the Brazilian that we just acquired. Deivid Washington to Chelsea is now imminent after or we didn't acquire him yet. We're on the verge of acquiring him. Is now imminent after a 20 million euro bid was submitted to Santos. Personal terms have been agreed and he's keen on the move. Deivid is set to join the RC Strasbourg loan along with our boy Angelo. Going on, Chelsea remain confident on completing the deal for Deivid Washington next week. He wants Chelsea and the green light for Santos is imminent. And then the most recent tweet that we have about this is this one right here. Deivid Washington prefers AS Monaco, but Chelsea are currently offering Santos more money. Huh?
Okay, no.
Must have been a typo.
Santos are the club. The club's name is Santos.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know where Neymar came from?
Yes. AS Monaco are trying to hijack Chelsea's deal for Deivid Washington.
Yeah, so that
you thought it was Andre Santos, didn't you?
I was so confused. I was like, wait, what's Andre Santos have to do with this? But then I forgot. Yeah, he's from Santos, the same club that Gabriel is from, and the same club that Andre Santos is from.
So this news Marshall by the AS Monaco came out yesterday. The Fabrizio tweet though came out after this. So he was basically contradicting Santi JFM essentially, because Monaco apparently have the first refusal to Is it Deivid or is it
David? It's David.
Okay,
it's just
all
David.
right, thank you. Just want to make sure I don't want to get his name wrong. Deivid Washington. Let me just call him Washington. So Washington, but apparently he wants to come to Chelsea, and Chelsea are paying him more piece. And plus, bro, who's the difference between playing at Monaco and playing at Strasbourg, man? Eventually, we're gonna be as good as them, if not better. Yeah. Come to the blue side, man, of France.
David is a striker, I believe. God of Frogs.
Yeah. He's basically gonna be the replacement for Wahi, because if you remember God of Frogs, that's the guy that you're looking for to bring in for Strasbourg. He obviously doesn't want to come in, so obviously, you know, he's not going to be able to come in now because the club
You'd
don't
be
want to pay 4 million.
surprised.
So
There's
now
a lot of Washingtons in Brazil. It's a relatively common name. I've heard it before.
Was George Washington was moving mad in Brazil? Was he moving mad?
No, I don't know about that.
You know that they actually have because of that they actually call him like his nickname is like O Presidente or something. Like that's actually his nickname over there. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying.
Let me actually look this up.
You know that Thiago Silva's O Monstro. Like he's got his nickname's like O Presidente or something. Like. That's what I saw on Twitter at the very least. Like,
it wouldn't surprise me then.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Pretty sure there's plenty of Washingtons in Brazil. Some of them that have even played for the national team. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure I'm not though. But yeah, he's Brazilian. He's definitely a Brazilian. Don't worry. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this guy if he cooks or not, and hopefully he does well. But let's go ahead to this last and final topic. Been a long show, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash the like if you haven't done so already. 142 of you guys watching, and we kept that number relatively high this whole time. Thank you for joining our stream. Okay, but let's talk about this one. Livramento exclusive. Newcastle have agreed deal with Southampton to sign Tino Livramento. More below. What does this have to do with Chelsea? Well, Marina did one good thing. Well, a few good things, but this is one of them. She added a sell-on clause on there. So Chelsea is entitled to over 40% of the total Newcastle Tino Livramento deal. So the profit is close to £15 million for this signing. That's not great. We just get £15 million for Tino. That's awesome. That is awesome. This is great.
Wow, man. Congratulations, Marina. Let's give her a round of applause, ladies and
gentlemen. Marina did a good thing there. Yeah, we'll give her a round of applause. Just this time. Mind you, we currently have the worst.
Let's give her the boost now for Lukaku. Let's give her the boost for Lukaku.
Well, okay, it wasn't totally her fault. I think we all thought Lukaku was going to cook. So
hey, listen, right though. Here's the thing though. Like, Marina was good at outgoings, like the ones that she did complete. Like you remember, she got Hazard out on that massive fee, and then every time he won a cup, even if he was like injured during it, like we'd get 20 million, Yeah. So like she was good on the outgoing side. The problem is she haggled over money, but the deals that she did end up completing, most of them were really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marina's had her flaw, but she could cook. Yeah, she could cook. She could cook. Yeah, she definitely had some good deals in there when it comes to outgoings. Like you said, you had the Morata, you had the Eden Hazard, this, even to a certain extent, the Mark Gahey deal where you get first denial, first refusal on any bids coming in with him.
I just hate the fact she didn't take, like, remember when Willian was getting 60 million bids from Barcelona and she didn't take that for some reason? That was ridiculous.
I actually, that was crazy.
Remember those days?
We were always got 60 million for Willian, and they didn't even accept it. It's crazy, man. I thought to God, man, Chelsea back in the day, man. We actually are the masters of selling like the most randomest players that are like cooked as well. Man, we can forget Willian, man. Willian was cooked at that time too.
I mean, was he though? Don't you think we kind of wish he
Willian
stayed?
was getting 4 and 3 or like 3 and 4 per season, bro. Like
no. I say that because now in hindsight, when you look at how bad our seasons were without him, you kind of wish we had him.
It's hard to even cuss out Willian these days because it's like he would look like a world class player in our squad.
Bro, do you see when he got linked to Saudi? I was like, oh my god, he's done it again. He walked away from Spurs on the medical table, and now he's ditching Fulham after agreeing a new contract 11 days ago.
He's about to do that, man. He's about to go to.
Apparently, Fulham won't accept the bid, though. Apparently, he's going to stay at Fulham.
It's still up in the air. It's just the manager. He doesn't want him to go, but
yeah, Marcus Silva really likes Willian.
I think he did him a favor by signing the contract just so he can go and get Saudi money instead of going on a free. I think he was doing Fulham a favor.
Maybe.
That's what I like to believe. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't offer us the same courtesy when we offered him a 2-year contract and he left for 3 years at Arsenal.
Yeah, true. I guess. Fair enough. But Livramento, gonna get us some extra money there that we need, ladies and gents. Well, we don't need it, but any money helps. You know, anything for the stadium.
I wonder how he's going to do there because he's come off. He had an ACL injury, didn't he? And they're going to have to replace Trippier soon because Trippier's still good, but he's 32. You know, there's going to come a natural point in time where he's going to have to start slowing down in terms of being a starter. So that's going to be an interesting one. Like, you know, if he returns to what he was doing at Southampton early on, then he'll come good because he was showing great signs back then. You know, everyone was raving about Livramento. So, yeah.
But any final thoughts, ladies and gents, of the panel?
Alhamdulillah, man.
Gonna be an interesting next few days.
Listen, man. To conclude for everyone here, I would say, obviously, you know, me and Marshall, we're gonna see if Marshall's guy, the Ecuadorian guy with the crazy camera, will it happen? Will it not happen? Will Caicedo happen? Find out next time on Chelsea Bull Z.
Atención, damas y caballeros, Moises Caicedo.
I'm gonna get motion sickness if I watch that video again.
I might just wait. Hold on. I have to. I might just end the stream.
Oh no!
Continue.
but on a serious note, though, before we obviously clear out, obviously, I think we're probably gonna get 2 signings away. Probably Caicedo hopefully will get done before the Liverpool game, and he can be able to start. And I have a sneaky feeling that Vlahovic is gonna get done this week as well. People are not gonna like that, but the reality of the situation is Vlahovic and him are gonna get done this week, and maybe a sneaky player that we don't know about for the 10 role might happen. You never know, bro. Trust me, bro.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
You never know. But ladies and gents, I give you the outro with this man in the background. Hold on, let me load this. I got you. All right. Our next TikTok guy.
TikTok.
All right.
TikTok.
Ladies and gents, Moises Caicedo might get done this week. Thank you for, oh my god, this is so hectic. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. On our way to 3K. Hit the bell notification, Moises Caicedo, so you're notified whenever we go live. Casually FC. Go ahead and smash everything, all the buttons. Link in the descriptions below. Check them all out. Ahmed's Twitter, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment. Check out our new memberships. 24 millones de dólares. Fucking the... This is crazy. The shots was wild. It's a war zone out here for Moises Caicedo's soul. Ladies and gents, check out the membership starting at 99p. Jesus Christ. Okay, hi. Okay. Be sure to also check out the membership starting at 99p. Shout out to our proper casual and higher members, Winter Surfer, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, and Adrian. You guys can also get shout out if you do the proper casual, the higher tier. But 99p, you just get the basic membership and you get awesome emojis. And who doesn't love some good emojis? So go ahead, check those out. And like I said, everything before, make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, all that fun stuff. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for being here. As always, Moises Caicedo. Stay casual. Have a good night.